starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through HIMS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
ESPN 710, Los Angeles.
Sports! And it is the biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland is on for your Monday afternoon.
Ireland, best show on the radio.
Here we go, a Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday, a Monster Monday, a Luka Doncic Monday. And Mason and Ireland, you've been waiting all day to hear what they have to say on the blockbuster trade from Saturday night. AD is in Dallas. Luka is now a Laker. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it, Jack. Enjoy now the Hall of Famers on a Monday we won't forget. And it's the Waba Grill lunch hour, Jack. Why do they grill the order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. Their Asian-inspired menu has quality proteins and fresh steamed vegetables. Right now, get a value bowl for only $8.99. For a limited time, Waba Grill, it's for you. Mason and Ireland, your Monday afternoon right now.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Anything going on this weekend? The Los Angeles Lakers have stolen Luka Doncic from the Dallas Mavericks. It happened on late Saturday night in Ireland. You were there and on the buses, and word was starting to leak. I must have been
surreal.
So what was the mood like when they
shock?
Yeah.
On the ride home yesterday, there was no hooting and hollering, whooping up. Nobody knew if it was okay to be celebratory. Nobody knew. Because, and let's face it, AD and Max were, two of the five starters, and AD's beloved by everybody in the Laker group. And so we were like, are we allowed to be excited about this? Or, like, what nobody knew what to say.
Logistical.
I literally put a pair of earbuds in, and, like, the email I sent to you guys last night, I just, for 6 hours, listened to Luka reaction.
So, question. Did those guys get on the flight, or did they go separate?
No. You are not allowed. I learned this yesterday. I did not know this until yesterday.
Okay.
Once you are traded, you are no longer a member of the team you were traded from.
So you don't go on the team flight and all that stuff,
Max
right?
was not given the option to go on our flight because I'm sure he would have loved to go home and pack a
Oh, yeah,
suitcase and
right.
then go to Dallas. But the Mavericks are now in charge of getting him to wherever he needs to go.
Yeah. And, I mean, let's face it. This is...
And by the way, they would have absolutely let him. He's both those guys,
Oh,
Max. Yeah, here, let me start by saying this because we're so excited about Luka.
Yeah.
I would be stunned. It's going to leak out because we live in this world where everybody has a podcast or a column or anything. Things are going to leak out about why the Lakers did this, why the Mavericks did this.
Yep.
Anybody who's in my world, in the Lakers traveling party who works for the team, you're not going to say anything bad about AD or Max, ever.
Right.
They're like super good dudes, really hardworking. I'm going to root for them every time they play unless they play us.
Right.
So you're going to, like, why would you trade? Like, I read something today. The Lakers weren't going to extend AD anyway, or the Lakers were worried that AD was going to continue to get hurt. That's all speculative. Everybody that I know that works for the Lakers loved AD.
Right. And I don't think there's, and by the way, and Max Christie developed into a really nice player over the last couple of years, had turned, was really the Lakers' best on-ball defender. And that's the only issue. And we'll talk about the Luka part of this, but in terms of what they have right now, Rob's got to be working on other stuff almost, as we speak, right?
Yeah, but it may be harder to do. I'm shocked that the two bombshell trades happened. The Luka trade and then almost because
the De'Aaron Fox trade.
The Luka trade was so seismic that the De'Aaron Fox trade almost fell by the wayside.
Yeah, it's kind of anticlimactic because that's kind of where we thought it was going to go all along. I will say this. Rob Pelinka, this is, I came across this note. Rob Pelinka, apparently at one point that trade was bigger. That trade involved both number one draft picks.
Where are you getting this from?
Kirk Goldsberry.
Okay.
he says, crap, where is it? He's like, that at one point Dalton Connect was in that trade. I'll find the exact quote. But at one point it was a larger trade than it turned out to be. And the fact that he was able to carve it down to just this. I mean, you tell me Anthony Davis plus Max Christie and one number one gets you a transcendent superstar who is going to be tremendous for the next decade. I say that's just not possible.
And the money kind of worked out for him, too. Once the Mavericks traded him, he's no longer eligible for the Supermax, so all the Lakers have to do next year is extend him. And instead of paying him $350 million, you pay him like $100 million less.
Right, and if I was Luka, I'd be kind of pissed off because they turned around and traded me, and I basically cost me $100 million, right? Didn't this trade cost him $100 million?
At least. You know, because the Supermax was going to be $345,
right?
And now I think his extension is under less than $250, but which is fine for the Lakers, fine for Luka. He's still going to be rich, and it gives the Lakers a trial run to see if it works. Now,
well, I would imagine you're absolutely going to sign him, and you're absolutely going to give him.
You're going to extend him, but then you find out what's going on with LeBron. Now let's talk about that.
Okay, yeah,
I think LeBron is, and this is just my opinion, I haven't talked to anybody in his camp, I think LeBron is going to stay and see what this thing is like with him and Luka together. They're both two of the best 5 passers in the NBA. Greg St. Jean, who's one of our assistant coaches, and is a great guy, his dad, Gary St. Jean, used to be the coach of the Kings and the Warriors. Okay. Greg, last year, and Greg's one of these, like, young grinder coaches that'll be a head coach one day.
Right.
But the only reason he's not now is that he's young. And he was an assistant in Dallas last year for Jay Kidd.
Okay.
And I saw him yesterday, and one of the things we talked about is I don't think fans realize how much Luka and LeBron together are going to make the other people better. So think about this. You have to defend this.
Right.
Okay. You got to double team Luka, or he'll just score. You got to double team LeBron, or he'll just score. You saw that in New York on Saturday.
Yeah.
So that means you have to come off of one of the other 3 players that are out there. You normally can't come off of the center, Jackson Hayes, or else he'll just go dunk it.
Right.
So that means Dalton Connect and Austin Reeves are going to be wide open all the time. And they're going to get great looks and great shots. Dorian Finney-Smith hit 5 threes on Saturday night. And by the way, if you ask Luka who his favorite teammate is of all time.
Of all time?
It's Dorian Finney-Smith.
Really?
Yeah. They're really tight.
They're just
friends.
Really good friends.
Yeah. And Luka, somebody sent me an interview with Luka over the weekend when he was playing against Finney-Smith when he was playing in Brooklyn. And Luka said, he goes, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I know I'm going to play with him again at some point in my career.
Right.
I just know it. And now it's happening.
So normally we would do sports graffiti. Today we're going to do Luka graffiti all day long. 877-710-ESPN, a reaction to this trade. It's not all. I mean, you got to wonder. And after the ebullience of the trade, and I was excited and all that, so I wondered why. Why did they do it? Why?
Let's get into that, and then we're going to throughout the show. We're going to provide you reaction from around the league.
Yes.
And we have a lot of people reacting to this. I'm getting my texts and my social media reactions are probably 5-1 pro Lakers.
Yeah.
But there's one guy out there every 5 tweets that say, Ireland, you're an idiot. The Mavericks won this trade. It's, I don't know what you're looking at. I don't see it that way. But
no,
there are a lot of people in that camp. Kendrick Perkins is in that camp.
Yeah, Kendrick is.
So that the Mavericks got the better end of this deal. We'll see. I love this deal for the Lakers.
I think it's a fantastic deal for the next decade. I think we've got obviously somebody to hand the keys to when LeBron does walk away.
And he's 25.
Amazing. 877-710-ESPN. It is the day that Luka becomes a Laker. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, if you are hiring, a lot of people out of work, a lot of people affected by the fires, a lot of people looking for jobs. If you're hiring, you got to use ZipRecruiter. All these people are putting their resumes up on ZipRecruiter. Right now, you can use it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter helps you find qualified candidates for all your roles fast. How fast? 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within 1 day. So go check it out and use that ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
The fun way to...
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Silmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
You know, I want to thank them. You know, without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. You know, little help like you guys asked for. You know, I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California, and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Silmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. You know, I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, you know, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
Hey guys, it's Mina Kimes, host of the Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny, here to tell you about a live podcast taping I am doing in Los Angeles Monday, February 3rd, right before the Super Bowl. I am joined by Greg Rosenthal, Jordan Rodriguez, Chris Ryan, Andy Greenwald, and the Rams' own Kobe Turner. 100% of your ticket proceeds go to wildfire relief here in Los Angeles. Check it out, minapodlive.com.
Valentine's Day, it's the quickie she'll brag about for weeks. Or pick from their collection of unique modern designs, or go to their flower subscription, the #1 husband life hack, and be the hero every month. You can't go wrong. Bouqs, not just flowers. They're flowers that are cut fresh where they grow the best, so you get bigger, brighter blooms that last longer. She will be blown away by how stunning they are. Valentine's Day, February 14th, right after the big game, so don't fumble the flowers. Get your order in now. Go to Bouqs.com. Use my promo code ESPN for 25% off. That's BOUQS.com. Promo code ESPN. Bouqs. Promo code ESPN.
This ESPN Radio Black History Month moment is brought to you by National University.
Considered one of the best defensive players in NBA history, Bill Russell led the Boston Celtics to 11 championships and won 5 MVPs. In 1966, he became the first black coach in NBA history when he became the Celtics player coach. He led Boston to back-to-back titles in 1968 and 69. He was inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in 1975.
Built for the dreamers and doers and history makers. Start your journey at nu.edu.
Empower. Nick bought a new guitar, a 62 American Classic Electric. Does he know how to play? No. But Nick's Empower investment account has performed well. He got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risks. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. This is a really good guitar solo.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
This ain't Texas no more, Luka. Welcome to L.A. By the way,
Cowboy Carter did well last night.
Won Album of the Year. Believe it or not, she's won like 99 Grammys. That's the first time she ever won Album of the Year.
You'll be able to explain this to me. Lisa asked me this last night, and I couldn't answer it.
Oh, I know what you're asking.
What's the difference between Song of the Year and Record of the Year?
Okay, so think about it this way. The Song of the Year is just the actual song.
Okay.
Not the way it's recorded, not the way it's produced, none of that stuff.
Just you listen to it and say, that's the best Song of the Year.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then the record is taking that song and creating a whole production around it. So that's the Record of the Year.
What's more prestigious?
I think Record of the Year is more prestigious.
Because it involves more people?
Yeah. I mean, Kendrick Lamar won Record Song. New artist was that Chappell Roan. She was really good. And then the Beyonce album won big.
Yeah.
So speaking of winning big, the Los Angeles Lakers won big over the weekend with a trade of Anthony Davis and Max Christie, along with a number 1 to Dallas for Luka Doncic. There was a third aspect to that trade. There was the Danny Ainge part, but apparently Danny had no idea he was helping the Lakers.
Oh, they just said, do you want Jalen Hood-Schifino? And he said, sure.
Yeah, he said reportedly had no idea he was helping the Lakers land Luka, and by the time he found out, it was too late for him to do anything about it. It's so great.
They pulled a fast one on Danny Ainge.
It's so great.
So I was talking earlier that is as high as most people are in this trade, and we're going to play you some reaction here coming up.
Yep.
Here's an example. Remember, I told you 1 out of every 5 people. I went on yesterday. We had Greg produced what were we calling that thing yesterday?
Sunday Lakers Spectacular Special.
And I knew you
wouldn't
wouldn't get Mason because he never even looks at his phone on Sundays. But you got almost everybody else.
I got
right?
everybody.
Yeah,
yes.
and
including including Momo and McMenamin.
Wow.
All right, so I went on with the Kamenetskis and I said, I'm not sure people understand just how good Luka Doncic is. He makes other people better. He makes the team better as soon as he gets here. Here's a tweet from McKenna Hutt.
Hey, McKenna.
Ireland, BS. Doesn't make the team better. No big and no defense. I understand you work for the team, but if you were talking facts, Dallas won this trade by a large margin. So, I mean, I can't believe, there is no world why they won this trade by a large margin. In my opinion, the Lakers won the trade. Dallas, I sent this to a buddy of mine in Dallas. Dallas might win the battle this year.
This year,
but the Lakers are going to win the war.
Right. I mean, ultimately, this trade was more for tomorrow than it was for today.
It's more for the next decade.
Right.
Than he's the new face of the franchise now.
And Dallas did get better. I think it's fair to say.
Well, you add Anthony Davis and Max Christie to a team that already had Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving and Quentin Grimes, and they're going to do well.
Yeah, they're going to do very well. But to say that, there's an old rule. Whoever gets the best player won the trade.
Yeah. So Bill Simmons did an emergency podcast, like the Kamenetskis did.
Yes.
Brian Windhorst did a lot of emergency podcasts.
Yes.
And Bill Simmons hates the Lakers. He admits that up front. But this is why I love being a lifelong Laker fan. They always, I pound on the desk and yell star-driven town. They live by, and that was all from Dr. Buss.
Yep.
They live by it, and here was Bill's initial reaction to how the Lakers pulled this off.
I guess that's it. I guess the Lakers just basically hijacked Luka Doncic. Rob, here's this team that over and over again has found ways to reinvent itself over the last 60 years, really. Going back to when they were able to get Wilt Chamberlain in the end of the late 60s, and then Kareem in the 70s, and they pull off Magic Johnson in the 80s. And Shaq and Kobe show up in the 90s. And this just Pau Gasol in 2008. LeBron miraculously out of nowhere in 18. And then this.
I mean, think about it. Dr. Buss knew that this is a town that will show up for stars.
Yep.
Which is the difference between the Lakers and every other team in town. The Dodgers are now subscribing to that philosophy that we're going to get the biggest stars we can find and we're going to put them out there and fans are going to eat it up. And this is yet another example of it.
Let's go to Anthony in Burbank. Anthony, you're on Mason, Ireland. What's happening, man?
Hi, guys. On this trade on the Lakers, I'm a lifetime Laker fan since 1987. I think for this year, the Lakers get worse because Max Christie was a very underrated player for them. Ever since he started, they were 16-8.
Yep. The
defense he played on Jalen Brunson last game was unbelievable. Before we had Russell and Reeves guarding those point guards, and we couldn't stop those guys. And regarding Anthony Davis and Luka is probably a better player now. But AD is a better fit for this season. But I think long-term it's going to be a great trade because big men, look at Dwight Howard and Shaq. They don't usually age very gracefully. In 4 years, AD will be 36 years old, and Luka will be only 30. So long-term, it's a good trade. But for this year, the Lakers got worse because they lost their fourth best player, Max Christie, and their best player, Anthony Davis.
Yeah, and they lost, obviously, their best defensive player, and Max Christie.
Arguably their best two defensive players.
Yeah, their best on-ball defender. So, yeah, I mean, I think there are two ways to look at the trade. There's the today and there's the down the road. I think what the Lakers have addressed is who is going to get the keys to the franchise after LeBron. And now that is settled. It is going to be Luka Doncic. And for that reason, yeah, Dallas may, with AD, they got better. They're going to be good. And they've probably got a better team, and the Lakers have got stuff to address around Luka. But in the final analysis, they got a star who's going to be here for the next decade.
All right, so to give you more national perspective, later in that same podcast, Bill Simmons was doing that pod with Rob Mahoney and with Ryan Russillo. Russillo covers the NBA more than basically anyone I know. He's like Trudell. He sits around and watches NBA games all day. Here's what Ryan thought of the trade.
You have traded at worst the third best player in the NBA, and when he's right, probably the second best guy. And you've traded him at this age, and you've completely reset the Lakers in a way that is basically impossible. So it doesn't make any sense at all.
Makes no sense.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, works for
us.
We
got Luka.
Let's get one more call in here. Let's go to Lane. Lane, you're on Mason in Ireland. What's happening, man?
So there's a few things that I think John will appreciate. Firstly is we got Luka coming to L.A., and we just got to get him on Ozempic so we could stop talking about this weight thing. He's one of the best players in the NBA regardless of weight.
Yep.
Second is, and I said this to Greg, I think that the thing that's being overlooked here is we've now seen about a half a season of J.J. Redick dealing with a little bit of a weirdly constructed team and doing very well. I think we keep talking about how, yes, we got Luka, and this is moving forward past LeBron, but I think it's also a major commitment to J.J., and it's a sign that we really approve of him. And that was always my concern, was that he'd flame out because we'd lose LeBron. And then guess what? He's done because he doesn't have anything to backfill that. But that just solved this. And now we have three players that he played with on the Mavs. He knows this team, and I can't wait to see what he can do with it.
All right.
So
good take. Yeah.
I saw JJ on the plane yesterday, and I said, you played with Luka, right? And he goes, yeah. And I said, you excited? He just looks at me and goes, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't believe we got him.
Yep.
And that is no disrespect to AD or to Max, but guys like Luka, this is the equivalent of the Gretzky trade. All right? Remember when Gretzky came to the Kings and it changed everything?
Yep.
This is Luka, a top 5 player in his prime. I can't believe they got a 25-year-old. And he's coming here to be the face of the franchise. And if you look at the face of the franchise for the Lakers over the years, it's always somebody iconic. It went from Jerry West when they moved here, and then they got Kareem, and then they got Magic.
And Skip Wilt. Wilt was in there, too.
Yeah, and Wilt, at the end of his career, came to play with Jerry West.
Yeah.
And then you got Kareem, and Kareem got you Magic. And then Magic got you Shaq, and Shaq got you Kobe, and Kobe got you LeBron, and now LeBron gets you Luka. It's just, I mean, I've said for years that if you gave me, I could use any past Lakers, and I gave you the whole rest of the league.
Yep.
That you would have trouble beating.
Sure.
Me. You know, everybody in their prime. I could start Kobe and Magic in the backcourt and have a front. And now I got Luka as like a 6 man. I could have a front line of Shaq, Kareem, and AD.
Yeah, nuts.
With Worthy coming off the bench.
Sure.
I mean, this is such a Laker move, and it just so reminds me of what Dr. Bust used to do. And Rob Pelinka should have won Executive of the Year in 2020.
Yes.
When we survived the Kobe disaster and accident and the loss of his best friend and his goddaughter. And then he goes down to the bubble, and the Lakers beat everybody in the bubble, and they give Executive of the Year to the Clipper guy, and Rob got 1 vote. He probably won't win because he's an agent, and the other GMs hate him.
Yep.
But he should. He should be Executive of the Year for the second time this year.
So
he's never won it once.
There's interesting stuff floating around. I mentioned Kirk Goldsberry, who's a NBA writer for us.
Used to be for ESPN. I don't know if he's still there or not.
He says this. a deal got whittled down, and I think Rob Pelinka was able to convince the Mavs that Luka is a lot of risk, his drinking, his weight problem.
Well, if that's true, I think you still have to take the deal.
You do have to take the deal. Yeah. I mean,
whatever he's doing, let's say he's the worst, he has the worst diet and conditioning of anybody in the NBA. He's 25 and he's been named All-NBA first team.
Yes.
First team 5 times. So it works for him.
Yeah, but he's going to have to,
he's Babe
right?
Ruth. Yeah.
Apparently, the primary reason for an 11-day absence in late November was officially attributed to a right wrist sprain, but it was really to provide Doncic time to shed weight after he had ballooned into the high 260s. There's stuff here that is concerning, and we hope all that stuff will change. But
think about what you're talking about, though. If somebody came to you and you were a high-profile guy like Luka,
yeah,
and they said, we just traded for Steve Mason.
Right. Oh, God.
And all you heard was,
yep,
Mason's really good, but he's out of shape, he's fat, and he doesn't care about conditioning.
Hey, that's not nice.
If you heard that every day, wouldn't that make you say, every pro athlete I know is like this? Oh, really? I'll show you.
Here's Charles Barkley.
Well, number one, this has to be a wake-up call for him. To hear all these guys on television, your old team talking about you being out of shape, at some point, you have to say, you know what? If everybody's saying the exact same thing, maybe they're right. I got to get in shape. That's the first thing. And the second part of your hey, listen, they got their man for the next 10 years for sure. But this has to be a wake-up call for Luka because, Mike, nobody wants to turn on TV and says, man, all these dudes on TV telling me I'm out of shape.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, it must be annoying if you're Luka Doncic and you're involved in this, mega trade that you turn on TV and there's Barkley and there's Wilbon and there's all these guys saying, yeah, out of shape, has a
great player,
history of weight problem. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff. And maybe this does serve as a wake-up call and a new start, new
Barkley
opportunity.
is the example for that. He tells a story all the time. I heard him tell it today.
Yeah,
where Moses Malone, he went to Moses Malone and said, hey, Moses, I'm not playing. He was a rookie in Philadelphia. He goes, what do I got to do to get on the court? And he said, you're fat, you're out of shape, and you eat like an idiot.
Yeah.
And Charles, he scared him straight.
Yep.
And Charles had a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
Luka's going to the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
So, bring it on. I think he's going to – I can't wait to start doing the games.
Oh, it'll be so much fun.
Yeah.
Now, I heard the 8th. Would that be Saturday?
Yeah, they're playing a day
Indiana.
game. A day game, 1 o'clock against Indiana, but it's not a lock.
It's not a lock.
It's not a lock.
Yeah, because I'm going to be at that game on Saturday.
You're going to a 1 o'clock game on Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday.
I don't think there's a chance he plays tomorrow night against Clippers.
No,
and I'd be
probably
surprised.
not Thursday against Golden State.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Right now, there's so much going on today. Right now, callers number. Forget about this. I totally forgot about it. So forget about that. Okay. Excellent.
You'll get nothing and like it.
Yeah. All right. Hey, team, it is game time. Are you ready to chumba? At Chumba Casino, the action never stops. Play online social casino games anytime, anywhere for free. No purchase necessary. Your playbook is stacked. Think bingo, solitaire, slots, so much more. Hundreds of games. You'll never run out of action. And here's the kicker. They're dropping fresh games every single week. It's like a highlight reel of fun ready for you to tackle. Plus, there's free daily login bonuses and a sweet welcome bonus prize when you join. Now, that's what I call fun. Play for free. Take your shot. You could redeem some awesome prizes. So what are you waiting for? The clock is ticking. The game is on. Suit up. Take your shot. Let's chum. I'm going to try that again. I'm going to practice that. Chumba. Head to ChumbaCasino.com. Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, I understood every word of that.
We went a little slower on that one. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
It's the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Every weekday morning at 9 a.m. This is crazy because,
Hey guys, it's Mina Kimes, host of the Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny, here to tell you about a live podcast taping I am doing in Los Angeles Monday, February 3rd. right before the Super Bowl. I am joined by Greg Rosenthal, Jordan Rodriguez, Chris Ryan, Andy Greenwald, and the Rams' own Kobe Turner. 100% of your ticket proceeds go to wildfire relief here in Los Angeles. Check it out, minapodlive.com.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Silmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
You know, I want to thank them. You know, without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. You know, little help like you guys asked for. You know, I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California, and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Fimath, and I'm from Silmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. You know, I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, you know, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you.
Golf's newest league. It's sharp and it's electric. How is it sharp? How is it electric? Good questions. Try this on for size. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime, forcing, playoffs on the line. Golf. With 24 of the best players from the PGA Tour. Split into 6 teams. Atlanta, Boston, Jupiter, LA, New York, and the Bay. This isn't your average Sunday pickup game. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Only on ESPN. Keep up. It's golf.
Some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a huge inheritance. But a phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard for a new one on us. Just trade in any phone from our top brands with select unlimited plans. $829.99 purchase with new smartphone line on select unlimited plans. Minimum $90 per month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Less $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Trade-in terms apply. Payoff phone requires smartphone purchase and port-in with new smartphone line on select plan. Must provide most recent bill showing payoff amount of eligible phone. Additional terms apply.
And it is the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, here each weekday. You know what it's time for? What is this? It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
Who won the Luka Doncic trade? We're not gonna steer off of the Luka Doncic situation
All right,
here.
so is it accurate for me to say the Mavericks won the battle?
Yes.
Which is this year.
Yes.
The Lakers won the war, which is moving forward after this year. And I think the Lakers have a puncher's chance to do something this season.
Yeah, I do too. Bergman, what do you think?
As currently constructed for this year,
Yeah.
the Mavericks won. But
Yeah.
if moving forward, the Lakers won overall.
Yeah, I think that's Brian. Are you the same?
Yeah, I agree with John. With the battle and the war, two different kind of things here.
Yeah,
and I think the Lakers won the war.
Yeah, and I think, by the way, there's no way with Luka and LeBron that Rob doesn't go out and find especially some bigs for this team, or at least one big. They've got to do it if they really expect to make. And they've got two of the, one of the 5 greatest players in the league right now. They've got one of the 15 greatest players in the league right now. You've got to give them a big, or at least one big, so that they've got a credible shot in some of these games. Defense, John, Luka doesn't play it. LeBron plays it from time to time. Austin Reeves gets exploited.
Okay, so this is why you just mentioned 3 guys who are going to start. And they're all, if they're not defensive liabilities, they're not a defense-first player, any of the 3 of them. So what I think may happen, depending on whether they get that big you're talking about, is I think it means more playing time for Dorian Finney-Smith and Jared Vanderbilt. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the starting lineup. Everybody is assuming Jackson Hayes is going to start.
Yep.
But I think...
You think they could start
I think they could start Finney Smith or Vanderbilt and have, like, tomorrow night somebody's got to guard Zoo.
Yeah, right.
One of those guys could. You know, I mean,
well,
Zoo.
we did such a good job guarding him the last
But that
time.
was AD.
Yeah, that was AD.
And he did whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do we have to lose? But we were talking earlier about all the stuff coming out of Dallas about Luka and his conditioning.
Yes.
Find the clip that I pulled from Tim McMahon. Tim McMahon covers the Lakers, or I'm sorry, the Mavericks for ESPN.
Yes.
Here's McMahon explaining why the Mavericks felt they could trade Luka. Here it is.
This calf strain has happened 4 times, same calf in the last 3 years, twice this season. And the reaction within the Mavericks wasn't like, geez, man, bad luck. It was, just extreme frustration that this is the result of not caring or not, taking the actions that show you care about things like diet and conditioning and lifestyle.
So that's McMahon's opinion on why when the fork in the road happened.
Yes. Well, I think the Nico Harrison statement itself is interesting. It was awkward as hell, him and Jason Kidd.
Listen, one thing about me, I'm not going to talk bad about any players. Like that's not going to do, us or me any good. I just say there's levels to it, and there's people that fit the culture, and there's people that come in and add to the culture, and those are two distinct things. And I believe the people that were coming in are adding to the culture.
It's so interesting.
It suggests that Luka was not good for the culture.
Right.
But I can't imagine. You just don't. Okay, find one more. This is on that same podcast.
Yep.
Tim Bontemps and McMahon were talking about how this just never happens in the NBA. It just doesn't. Listen to how they summarized what we saw Saturday night.
The reason this is so shocking is because guys like Luka Doncic at this stage of his career do not get traded. I will repeat that. These guys do not get traded ever in this situation.
No, like when James Harden got traded, he was a 6th man of the year and the 3rd star on that team. Perennial first-team All-NBA players who have yet to hit their prime, we've never seen something like this.
That's why everyone's going crazy.
Right.
It just never happens.
Yeah, I mean, can we think of the last time when was the last time a top 5 player in any sport got moved, got traded? Not signed as a free agent to go somewhere else, but got traded, a top 5 player.
Shaq, maybe, when the Lakers traded Shaq to Miami?
That might be the last. Bergman, can you think of anything?
You guys mentioned it earlier, Gretzky being traded to the
Gretzky.
Kings. I mean, they usually do not get traded.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that it happened. And there's not – look, I mean, part of this is the first move that was made. We always talk about the partnership, Rob and LeBron and the partnership and Rich Paul and all those guys. Well, reportedly, LeBron says they didn't come to him before this.
Well, I don't think they could. Think about it. If they would have come to him and he said no, and he says, no, don't do it.
They had the same agent.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and so what I heard was that Rob made 3 calls once he decided to do this deal. The first one was jointly to AD and JJ Redick.
Yep.
And the second one was to Rich Paul. And then the third one was to LeBron. And to explain what they were doing.
Right.
And it is fascinating to me that they were able to pull this off without trading Austin, without trading Dalton Connect, and without trading the other number 1. Because now, if they want to, I'm not saying they're going to do this.
Yep.
But now between the trade deadline, I think, is
Thursday.
right when our show starts on Thursday.
Is that it?
It's
Oh,
either
wow.
at 12 or at 1. Look that up, Greg.
I believe it's 1. But
So that would be awesome if it's at 1.
Oh,
That means the whole first
fantastic.
hour of our show is let's go.
Yeah.
But that's why if they want to, Mace, they have options here.
Yeah.
They can make another trade.
This is NBA on ESPN reporting. I'm hearing he's targeting next week. The Lakers play at home against Utah next Monday and on the road in Utah next Wednesday, a potential return from his calf injury. So either the home game on Monday or the road game on Wednesday.
And after
the
the road game on Wednesday is the All-Star break.
Right.
So they'd be fun to see him play once. And Utah would be a great game. The home game against Utah would be a great game to have him debut because you should win that. Utah's not very good this year.
Trade deadline is noon on Thursday, February 6th.
Okay, so right when we start, all the late deals will be trickling in if there are any. But I think the Lakers are working the phone. I think they're going to be active and receptive to trying to get a big man between now and then.
And by the way, LeBron James named Player of the Week by the NBA.
He was great on Saturday.
He was fantastic.
Best player on the court, not even close.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to do sports graffiti, but we're going to keep it Luka-centric.
Yes.
So if you call sports graffiti, talk about the trade. If you want to talk about things other than the trade, wait until tomorrow to
call us tomorrow.
But 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-3776. Your call's coming up.
Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, there's never been a more important time to have a reliable car. Everybody knows that, with all of the heartbreak we've been through lately, you can't be having car problems. That's why you got to go see your Southern California Toyota dealers. Year after year, Toyota delivers quality, reliability, and simply the best vehicles on the road. Right now, you can choose from an amazing selection of new vehicles, like the 25 Land Cruiser, the 25 GR Corolla, the limited 25th edition 25 Highlander Hybrid. Great deals waiting for you right now. All you got to do is see your Southern California Toyota dealers or visit Toyota.com. Toyota, we make it easy.
Hey guys, it's Mina Kimes, host of the Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny, here to tell you about a live podcast taping I am doing in Los Angeles Monday, February 3rd, right before the Super Bowl. I am joined by Greg Rosenthal, Jordan Rodriguez, Chris Ryan, Andy Greenwald, and the Rams' own Kobe Turner. 100% of your ticket proceeds go to wildfire relief here in Los Angeles. Check it out, minapodlive.com.
It is a monster day in LA sports history as the Los Angeles Lakers on Saturday acquired generational talent Luka Doncic to be the face of the franchise for the next decade, John.
All right, here we go. Sports Graffiti. Here we'll lead off with Gilbert. Gilbert, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, guys. I just want to go ahead and dub the name of this trade today. I'm sure you guys will appreciate this name here.
Okay.
Taking into consideration the stealth factor and just what we're hearing, the reports, the Purple Wedding. The Purple Wedding.
Ah, the Purple Wedding, a complete surprise. You're right.
Well, I was surprised by the Red Wedding.
Everybody was. Oh, yeah, the Red Wedding was just out of nowhere.
And you had told me about it, but I still didn't see
I
it coming.
knew there was a thing called the Red Wedding. I just didn't know it was happening when it was happening.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Like this trade. We did not know it was happening when it was happening.
Nick, you're on Sports Graffiti. Nick, go.
Lakers won the battle. Lakers won the war. They're going to end up way better this year. And you keep saying best 5 in the NBA. The only guy I would take over Luka with all factors is Antetokounmpo. So I put him top 1, 2. Also, I just want to say, watching the Grammys last night was like watching the Tonys with all their set changes and sparkly costumes. Rock and roll is dead, and it makes me really sad. But the Luka trade makes me happier. And go Lakers. John, love your voice on the broadcast.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, there's a complaint about too many sequins at the Grammys.
I watched the Grammys. I thought they were good.
I always watch it. Music changes, dude.
Yeah, every year. Eric, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go, Eric.
Hey, I'm just calling, how much of an impact is this trade really going to have on the future? Obviously, great impact right now, huge impact in the future. But I'm just thinking, ranking all the trades that happened over the previous years, where does this rank as far as the future, how this is going to go? As far as, we got the trades with the Celtics over the years, trading for Garnett and Ray Allen, and then, trading away those players to the Nets, who eventually turned those picks into Tatum, Brown, and, where do you see this ranked as far as the future of it going?
I think it's as significant as any trade the Lakers have ever made. I put it right next to trading Vlade for Kobe Bryant when he was a rookie. I put it right there with, remember Shaq was a free agent. I put this when the Lakers traded for Kareem.
Right.
Back in the 70s, because he has a chance to be that impactful. Here's Eddie. Eddie, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
How much for that Laker tax, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Normally, the Lakers are on the wrong end of these things. If you would have, Eddie, if you listen to the show, I always say every year somebody moves that you don't see coming. This year it was Luka.
Yeah. That was gonna be my next point, that all of us that ever made fun of you, John, we all deserve to, or you deserve an apology from all of us, because
yes.
Everything you've said, you've been right about everything.
Yes, I am quite something, Eddie.
Wait a minute.
Hey,
everything he said, he's been right about everything.
Can
wow.
we turn that into a promo pronto, please?
Yeah. I'm not sure we need that.
That's a good promo. John Ireland has been right about everything ever.
Mario, get on it.
Yeah, do that.
David, you're on Sports Graffiti. David, go.
A couple points. Once I have mathematical proof that the Lakers are going to win a title soon. The NBA has been in existence for 77 years. The Lakers have won 17 championships. If you divide that, that's a championship every 4.6 years.
And the last championship we
was
won?
2020.
2020.
You're right.
And by the way, hey, David, if you're into numerical symmetry, what number does Luka wear?
77.
There you go. There you go. It all coming together. Yep. James, you're on Sports Graffiti. James, go.
Hey, love the show. I love the caller when he said the Purple Wedding. That's exactly what it was. Nobody saw it coming. I'm sad to see Max Christie go. I love that kid. He came in every season, bulked up. He played the right way, kept his head down, and just kept going. But that shows that he had value. Those two GMs, awesome. Nobody knew a thing about it. And we didn't give up any. We gave up AD and Max Christie, but we didn't give up a lot of draft picks.
Yeah. I'm stunned that they were able to pull off the deal.
One of the things, you know what? The Lakers did a tremendous job of developing Max Christie. He became a really good player in the Lakers system, and I got to believe J.J. Redick and the current coaching staff had a lot to do with that, because he suddenly became their best on-ball defender. You saw what he did with Jalen Brunson on Saturday night. That's where addressing defense is going to be an issue with this group that we've got right here. And I would imagine Jared Vanderbilt is probably going to see more time.
You know, our friend Michelle Beadle does a show on FanDuel with Chandler Parsons.
Yes.
Parsons played for the Mavericks, played for Mark Cuban. Chandler just said, I texted Mark Cuban and said, I'm so confused. Cuban wrote back, that makes two of us.
Yeah.
Let's go to Ernie. Ernie, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
First off, shout out to everyone on the chat. Don't get banned. Number two, I would really love to be the fly on the wall in the conversations between Nico and Rob, because comparing this trade to what Minnesota had to give up for Gobert, I really want to know what's going on the back end with Luka. I mean, is there something really going on versus the narrative? Thanks, guys.
Well, it's a fair question because the Mavs clearly wanted out of the Luka business,
right? And
for whatever reason,
they didn't want to go $350 million, which is what it would have taken in a Supermax this summer.
And they didn't want to take him to market and collect offers. They
Correct.
just wanted they were done.
Yeah, it's what they call a pocket deal.
Windhorse said that an active NBA All-Star texted him, "Can you imagine how much the Mavericks hate Luka to do this to him?" And I thought that's an interesting way of looking at it. That is an interesting way. And that's sort of
the way Nico Harrison talked about it. It was a little edgy and a little weird and a little awkward.
Yeah. Roger, you're on Sports Graffiti. Roger, go.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to give my take on how the Lakers won this trade for two reasons. One, we're kind of judging the trade as the way the team looks today. But by Thursday, that's a trade deadline, right? Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday at noon.
It could look completely different. Luka can have a center. You know, I know they're looking for a center. I'm looking for maybe another 3-and-D guy. I'm going to reserve. You know, we'll see what Rob can cook up. And the second reason is this trade personally makes the Lakers way more compelling. I was sort of, wandering through the season, watching a game here or there. Now I want to watch every game.
Oh, this is a really good point, Roger. This is a really good point. Thanks for the call.
This is your point, but I'll say this. When I walked in today, I thought, boy, they were so impressive against the Knicks. They looked so good. And Max Christie had like his best defensive
and they won without AD.
And they won without AD. And I thought all of a sudden they're 9 games over 500. And damn, maybe they may be the second best team in the West.
I think that in a few years, we could, not for sure, but we could look back at this on how we look at the Mookie Betts trade. I remember when the Mookie Betts trade happened, I went, there's no way the Red Sox traded an MVP in his prime.
Right.
And he's a Gold Glover. He has no weakness, but they wanted out of the Mookie Betts business. I think the Lakers could end up with a similar benefit. Here's Seg on Sports Graffiti. Seg, go.
Hey, guys, so I want to bring up a point that no one's really talking about. So this deal cost Luka basically $100 million because they think he's fat and lazy and out of shape and not taking care of his body. They don't want to commit, right? So Luka has said that LeBron is his idol. He's coming to the Lakers to be with LeBron. What is LeBron known for, aside for obviously being LeBron?
Spending $1 million a year on his body.
Enables him to play at age 40 at this level at season 22. So who better for Luka to be pissed at and have a mentor to, show him how to take care of his body?
It's a great point, Seg. And or as my wife Lisa said today when she heard all this talk, because I've had sports TV on all day. Yep. She said, I keep hearing these talks that Luka might be fat and not in condition. She said the number one requirement of anyone who lives in Los Angeles is vanity.
Right.
You can't be fat here.
You can't be too thin or too rich. It's L.A.
And so she said he's gonna come here and slim down.
I would imagine
he
is going to come here and I would imagine LeBron James is sort of an inspiration. This is how you do it. This is how you maintain your dominance as you get older. You spend that much time, that much energy, that much money on your body.
Hey, we still have literally 15 people that want to talk about this. You want to just roll it for the next segment,
let's
too?
Just roll
we'll
it.
do another segment of Sports Graffiti coming up next. And before the end of this hour, what's it like to be a Maverick fan today?
Oh, yeah.
We found one who lives here in L.A. but grew up in Dallas and is a huge Mavs fan, and it's interesting to hear his reaction.
Oh, yeah. We will get to that coming up next for you. In the meantime, the devastating fires that engulfed Southern California are leaving victims in shock. And the question is, who do you call? How long should the process take? Do I need FEMA assistance? Why would I join a lawsuit? Am I being taken advantage of? Don't try to handle all this stuff by yourself. My friend Jacob, I vouch for him. He's the best. He's here to help. Fires can devastate your home, your business, your peace of mind. When the flames die down, the fight for what you're owed starts, and that's when you call Jacob. Insurance companies are paying out entire policy claims in record numbers, but that still isn't enough when factoring in the rising prices of replacing an entire home. That's when you got to call Jacob, especially if you're in the Eaton fire area. Call Jacob. He can help you navigate your fire damage claim and the lawsuits. And if your insurance company tries to deny or delay your payout, Jacob and his team will continue to fight to protect your rights and get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Remember, if you are dealing with the fire tragedy that has struck Southern California, you want to call Jacob. 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB, or remember, calljacob.com. Together, we are L.A. strong. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Sylmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
You know, I want to thank them. You know, without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. You know, little help like you guys asked for. You know, I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California, and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Sylmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. You know, I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, you know, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
Hey guys, it's Mina Kimes, host of the Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny, here to tell you about a live podcast taping I am doing in Los Angeles Monday, February 3rd, right before the Super Bowl. I am joined by Greg Rosenthal, Jordan Rodriguez, Chris Ryan, Andy Greenwald, and the Rams' own Kobe Turner. 100% of your ticket proceeds go to wildfire relief here in Los Angeles. Check it out, minapodlive.com.
Six, Avner Gat. Your claim, our game.
Running back, quarterback. Nah. The snack back. The only position that captures two of my favorite things, football and eating. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Get an AM/FM Bluetooth radio when you earn 500 points on your rewards card. The 11th.
Number 2.
Book your room for as low as $109.
And the number 1 reason.
The Big Game Blitz is finally here. The big game on big screens with big prizes. Sunday, the 9th.
Morongo. Good times.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We're everyday people doing good in our community. Our kindness runs deep.
just like our blood. The same blood we donate to help treat sickle cell disease, which hits Black people the hardest. Good news is, 1 in 3 Black blood donors is a match for someone struggling with sickle cell disease. Stand tall in the eyes of your community. Donate today because our blood saves lives. Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood to make your donation.
Listen to Mason and Ireland more at 1 p.m.
Juan will look at me at some point tonight and say, "Are you even enjoying this?"
More of Mason and Ireland right now.
They not like us. They not like us.
That was winner of Song of the Year and Record of the Year last night at the Grammy Awards, Kendrick Lamar, who did not perform because I believe I heard somewhere he's got a big performance coming up.
Is this song supposedly about Drake?
Well, it's West Coast, East
Brian,
Coast.
you think it is?
It is. It was between their rap battle.
Yeah, I mean, it was a rap battle, and
it's not supposedly. It is about Drake.
Okay, so think about this. In all of our careers combined, Mason and I have been doing this forever, and you guys, Greg and Brian, are now, coming up double digits in years. Can you think of anything ever that knocked the Super Bowl out on Super Bowl week? Nobody's talking about the Super Bowl.
Now, the one thing I'll go back to was it 17 years ago? Was it 17 that the Lakers traded for Pau Gasol?
2008.
2008. Now, I was at the Super Bowl. This was when you had been fired and I was still doing the show.
Okay.
And I remember sitting at the Super Bowl and the Lakers
Brian,
made that trade.
We're getting a Comrex feed in our ears. Somebody's potted up that shouldn't be potted up.
The Lakers made that trade. And Reggie Miller was my first guest after that. And I just remember nobody saw it coming, but I don't think, and Powell obviously was a huge part of 2 championships, I don't think that parallels a name like Luka Doncic. I mean, this is a next-level transcendent superstar, and obviously I don't think anything has occluded the Super Bowl quite the way this has, although the Pau Gasol trade is the one thing I think, at least for us, was huge.
Okay, we're going to go back to you can't hear Cappy?
No, I cannot.
Okay.
Hi,
so
Cappy.
it must just be in my feed. I must have something put somewhere. All right, let's go back to the phones. Here's Robert. Hey, Robert, you're on Sports Graffiti. Hey, Brian, play the song. What the heck? Robert, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Yeah. Hey, it's not Luca's team. It is officially J.J. Redick's team from now on. Hey, a million jerseys in Europe, number 77s. Let me throw one thing at you. Remember the Philly game? The first quarter, AD went out with 2 minutes left in the quarter. His head was literally ready to explode with playing with Bronny. I mean, everything was going bad. The whole quarter turned out. AD went out of the game. Next thing you know, he's in the locker room. Next thing you know, he's on a plane home. I think Rob said at that point, get him out of here. I don't want him. He's a quitter.
I don't think that's true, Robert. I disagree with you. I don't think anybody's down on AD. I really don't. I think he did everything we asked him to do.
I mean, at last check, he just had a 40-20 game.
I think when Rob talks tomorrow morning, you will hear nothing but positivity about AD. I don't think like Nico, you could tell he was down on Luka.
Yes.
He didn't come right out and say it.
He said, I don't want to criticize guys,
but he goes, you either add to the culture or you don't.
Yep.
And these guys, AD and Max, both add to it. That's a backhanded slap to Luka. I'll be stunned if Rob says anything at all bad or negative about Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis was a great Laker. He got us a title in his first season. I thought the street clothes nickname was unfair. He played 70 games last year. I'm going to miss him. But when you get offered a 25-year-old global star, you got to do it.
Yeah.
And the Lakers had to do it. Here's Portia. Hey, Portia. You're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
I just want to say when I heard the trade, I was a little mad because I'm a big AD fan. I'm going to miss him and Christie, and I wish the best of luck to the Lakers. And I can't wait for Luka to make his debut. And we got the 2020 championship back on the Lakers, too, on the team this year.
All right, thanks, Portia.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, people have been saying, I've heard from a few Laker fans this year, not too many, but a few saying, I'm not really into the games anymore. I just watch the highlights. Now people are going to get back into the games.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a star-driven town, and now we got the biggest star. Here's Joe. Hey, Joe, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, got 3 quick points. One, first of all, is that now
Austin Reeves seems slightly irrelevant and probably could be traded for a big man. Second of all, everybody's worried about that maybe there's something we don't know about Luka. Don't the Lakers get to see his health reports and everything like that before the trade goes through?
Yes.
And third of all, why is he not like a James Harden that just uses skill and and there's no real athleticism there? Why would you not consider him to be like the same idea?
That'll be it. I think all fair points. Yeah, he's not. Athleticism is not his game. It doesn't. I mean, he gets it done, but it's not like.
This will make more sense when you guys watch him play. If you haven't seen him play a lot, you cannot speed Luka Doncic up. He plays at his absolute own pace. You can, if he's so big, he's 6'8", and he's 250 pounds, and you can't move him. So he'll just slowly back you in, and if you don't stop him, he's got great post moves, and if you don't go get him, he's a sniper from three.
Yeah.
And get a load of this. Luka Doncic has the third highest scoring average in NBA history. He won the scoring title last year.
Yep.
In the playoffs, he's second. He averages 30 points a game in the playoffs, second only lifetime to Michael Jordan.
Right.
So this guy gets better when the stakes are higher.
So I think there are multiple reports now. Shams is talking about this. The idea that the Warriors are chasing every star. That includes Paul George, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, everybody. I don't think it's impossible that LeBron says, you know what? Yeah, it's. I will go play with Steph.
Well, first of all, he would have to waive his no trade.
Right, he would. That's why I'm saying he would say.
I'll meet you halfway. I don't think it's impossible, but I also think it's unlikely. I think the idea of him staying in Los Angeles with his son, living in where he lives in the city. His daughter loves the schools. He's got pretty much. Lakers know how to treat stars,
right?
And he's got the ability to bring in anybody he wants. His trainers on staff. Randy Mims, who is our player relations guy, came from LeBron. I would be surprised. Now, what you're advocating, was advocated by both Michael Wilbon and Stephen A. Smith this morning on ESPN. They're saying exactly what you're saying, that if they were LeBron, they would waive their no trade and go to Golden State. I personally don't think it's happening.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it's probably out there. This is the first move the Lakers have made in the LeBron era that didn't go through LeBron.
Right.
This was a move that was made for the Lakers by the Lakers, as opposed to a deal that was made with LeBron for LeBron. It's not. We're not in that world anymore.
No,
we're looking ahead to the post-LeBron era.
Rob has said on the record that he always considered himself in a partnership with Clutch, with AD, with LeBron, with Rich. This ended the partnership.
Yes.
This was, okay, now I've got to take care of the Lakers.
I'm in the Laker business.
Yeah, I've got to take care of the Lakers moving into the future, and so we're gonna jump at
and
this.
If this is Rob's first trade apart from Clutch and the LeBron influence, it's a hell of a great first trade.
Here's Mark. Hey, Mark, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, how's it going? This is the best news. I mean, we lost, me and my family, along with my Kobe memorabilia, our house burned down. And now
so sorry.
On fire. Thank you. I don't want to bring the mood down because I got this phone call immediately from my best friend, being season Steve Holder forever. And one thing I want to comment is guys like Luka come, 4 or 5 players every 10 years like that. And the way the Mavericks handled them, you don't think future stars are going to wonder. This is why the Lakers get guys like LeBron coming over.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
And superstars and transcendence guys. Nico did not do the Mavericks franchise any favors from future stars that are saying, this is how you treat your legends. No, thank you. So look, it's been bad news since the beginning of this year. This is the first good news, and I hope it keeps rolling. I'm excited to go take my daughter and her boyfriend to the Lakers game this Saturday.
Good.
And let's, what can we do? We got to turn it around.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you. Yeah, by the way, that is a really good point. The Lakers take care of their stars, and in this case, Dallas really screwed Luka over.
Right.
He's out $100 million. All
right, speaking of Dallas, what's it like for a Maverick fan right now? What are they thinking? We'll play you one guy who's from Dallas, huge Maverick fan, coming up next, and I have I have a super big conspiracy theory, too.
Oh, good.
That's probably not true, but it's fun to kick around.
Okay, cool. We'll do it. Mason in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Okay, if you inherit a home, it can be overwhelming. Between repairs, the time it takes to get everything ready to sell, it can feel like it's more trouble than it's worth. That's where Seller's Advantage comes in. One real customer who inherited a home shared their experience. Quote, "We had an inheritance from a relative, and it would have taken a lot of time, money, and headaches to get the property in shape. I heard about Seller's Advantage from radio commercials and decided to give them a try. Their offer was reasonable. We accepted it. They took care of all the physical effort and legal complexities. We closed within 3 weeks. I would highly recommend them to anyone." End quote. No matter what your reason for selling, call Seller's Advantage today. 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-AS-IS. That works out to 888-390-2747. Or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free, no-obligation cash offer.
With the devastating fires that have struck Southern California, there are options for you if you're dealing with food insecurity. It is the LA Regional Food Bank. You can go to lafoodbank.org/fire. We are also looking for collections from you. All kinds of stuff needed for people that are dealing with the fire right now. Please join us in helping our friends and neighbors who are dealing with this tragedy.
Airborne for your chance to win fabulous prizes from Islands Restaurants. Island Boy! Who has the coldest beer in town? Of course, our favorite Islands Restaurants. With those frosty mugs of beer paired with the best burgers and fries. It's time to visit Paradise. Callers number 7 and 10 and keep listening for your chance to win on 710 ESPN.
I'm here with Dr. Monica Madden. Explain Invisalign to me, because I think when people see that word and they see the price tag, sometimes they get scared off, but it's actually a pretty big improvement. When I grew up, I had braces and I had those big metal brackets along my teeth. If I came to Beverly Hills Ortho in 2024, I don't necessarily need that metal, do I?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started out with braces only, and then Invisalign came along, and it's like putting a plastic tray on your teeth, switching it out every week, and all of a sudden, months into it, your teeth are much straighter. Now, it feels like putting a glove on your hand. It's so comfortable, and it's easy. Like no emergencies, no pokey wires, no broken brackets. It's really straightforward and great.
Here's how you get in touch with Beverly Hills Ortho. Call this number, 877-7-LET'S-DO-THIS. That's 877-753-8736 or BeverlyHillsOrtho.com.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you. Hey, it's Steve Farr. If you're like me, you just don't want to watch the game. You want the best experience every time. That's why Absolute Sport is a game changer. VIP access to the biggest games, exclusive pregame parties, luxury hotels, whether it's courtside, ringside, or the 50-yard line, Absolute Sport makes sure you're there, not just watching, you're living the action. Visit us.absolute-sport.com. That's ABSOLUT-sport and make your next sporting experience absolutely unforgettable.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
National University honors those who have broken barriers and paved the way for future generations. If you're a parent and a professional, a dreamer, and a doer, NU is here to support you. With flexible online classes and career-focused resources, you can earn your degree while balancing work, family, and everything in between. Empower your future today at nu.edu. That's nu.edu.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
She performed last night, Sabrina Carpenter. I thought she was very, very good. I thought she was going to win something because this song is kind of
2-1.
Did she?
Yeah,
it's kind of a ubiquitous song, right? It's just been playing all summer long. So Saturday, pre-Luka, I decided I was going to go see a movie, and I looked at what was playing at the AMC, and because I'm a Stubbs member, and I get free movies because I pay every month. And there was a movie called Dogman. I'm like, cool. So I look it up. It's directed by Luc Besson. Douglas was abused by a violent father who then threw him into the dogs. Instead of attacking him, the dogs protected him. And I thought it descends into a murderous madness. I thought, that sounds really good. So I go to the theater. I buy tickets, go to the theater, sit down at Dogman, and I wonder, why are there so many kids here?
Animated?
It's an animated movie called Dogman about a half man, half dog, and I'm looking for an action picture.
That book is for children, like little teeny tiny children.
Trust me,
like
I
your first
found
book that
out.
you read.
And then afterwards, I was like, well, maybe it's good. No, I nudged one. We're getting out of here. I was looking for a Luc Besson action picture.
Has reacted to the Luka trade?
No.
Magic Johnson.
Oh.
So here we go.
Oh, God. Hang on, edgy.
I've been associated with the NBA for 45 years, and this Luka for AD trade is the biggest trade I've seen between two superstars essentially in their prime! ! Mm-hmm. With Luka, the Lakers are getting a 25-year-old superstar. This is a great long-term move for the Lakers franchise after LeBron retires. Magic is master of the obvious. He has hit it out of the park again.
Yeah, I mean, he really nailed it. He nailed it that
So
time.
what's it like if you're a Mavs fan? I've mentioned that I've been texting with the Mavericks broadcasters.
Right.
They're all devastated.
Well, I can tell you yesterday I listened to the Locked On Mavs podcast.
Yeah.
That guy's
coming on with Andy
Oh,
tonight.
yeah, he lost his friggin' mind. He was like, this is the end of basketball in Dallas.
Okay, so if you watched TV on Fox, you know that Emmanuel Acho is one of their hosts over there. He just happens to be born and raised in Dallas. He went to the University of Texas and is a huge Mavs fan. Here is Emmanuel Acho's take on the trade.
Wow, I am at a loss for words. As a Dallas native, I can truly say this was one of the biggest mistakes in the history of the Mavericks franchise. You just traded a 25-year-old Luka Doncic in his prime, a 5-time first-team All-NBA player in 6 years, mind you. You just traded a player that is one of the greatest catalysts for winning of the generation. He carried the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals last year. He brought the Mavericks back out from the depths of the pits of the grave after the absence of Dirk Nowitzki, took the Mavericks to a conference finals 2 years ago. He led the league in scoring last year at 33.9 points a game, and he's 25 years of age. And the reasoning is he doesn't play enough defense. I get it. Then find a 3-and-D player. Find some defensive specialists, but you do not trade, under any circumstance, a box office talent like Luka Doncic. Yeah, it's malpractice.
Yeah, it is, and we'll take it.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. Bank makes error in your favor.
I think that is the reaction of most Mavs fans today. All right, you want to hear my crazy conspiracy theory?
Sure.
A friend of mine calls me today. I do not think this is true.
Okay.
But we talked earlier about the fact that the Mavericks are now owned by the Adelson family.
Right.
You know what they do? Where they made all their money?
Casinos in Vegas. Her husband was...
Stay with me here.
Yeah.
Took me right where you want to go.
Okay.
Every time you hear about expansion, where do you hear that one of the
Vegas.
teams is going to be? Right. If you, again, crazy conspiracy theory, I don't think it's true. I think that the Adelson's bought the Mavs because they want to. They're hoping they legalize gambling in Texas. Greg Abbott, a Republican governor, is very much in lockstep with the current president, and the Adelsons were the current president's biggest donor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're trying to legalize gambling in Texas. The Adelsons will build a casino/arena and make millions.
Right.
But let's say they don't. Like, we've tried to legalize gambling in California, and every time we put it on a ballot, it doesn't pass.
Yeah, we've had it on a couple of times, and they the ballots.
So let's say that
up.
happens in Texas.
Yeah.
You're the Adelsons.
Right.
Where would you want to move?
Oh, sure.
And
Vegas.
if you wanted to, what would you do to lower interest in the Mavs? What would get people to stop caring about the Mavs? Trade your global superstar in a one-sided deal. Think there's anything to? I don't.
I do not.
It's a friend of mine's theory that I decided to throw out there. I don't think it's real. I think that they are trying to get gambling legalized in Dallas.
Yep.
So they can build this casino complex. And I think the Adelsons said, we don't have to pay one guy $350 million. Do what you want. We're in this for a land deal. I don't think they're trying to move the team to Vegas.
I do not either. I do think that we talked about short-term and long-term. Long-term, I love this for the Lakers. Short-term, I love this for the Mavs. Short-term, it makes complete sense.
Right.
Like, I think this might be the second-best team in the West when you add Anthony Davis, and you've got Lively, and you've got Gafford, and you've got Clay, and you've got Kyrie. That's a really, really solid team that went to the finals last year. I think can go to the Western Conference Finals this year. So I think that in the short term, the move makes sense for them. In the long term, it doesn't make any sense for the reasons you're describing. Where are they in 5 years? Where are they in 5 years?
Now all their best players are in their 30s.
Yes.
And we have one player that's old, LeBron. Everybody else is pretty much in their prime.
Yes.
And so this, Ryan Russillo said it earlier. Play the Russillo clip again for people who didn't hear. We played this about an hour ago. What this trade does is, and Ryan puts it this way, it resets the Lakers in a way we didn't think possible. Here's Russillo.
You have traded at worst the third best player in the NBA, and when he's right, probably the second best guy. And you've traded him at this age, and you've completely reset the Lakers in a way that is basically impossible. So it doesn't make any sense at all.
So it doesn't make sense.
And the reset the Lakers thing is brilliant because it nobody thought this was possible. Most of the calls we got, the complaints we got were LeBron has hijacked our team.
Everything runs through him. It's all for LeBron.
He's going to be gone in 2 years.
And then we're going to go into a terrible rebuild.
All that's gone now.
Yeah, it is gone.
They reset the franchise. And now, at least for a couple of years, we get to watch LeBron and Luka play together unless they trade LeBron before Thursday.
Unless LeBron says, I want to go.
Yeah.
I mean,
nuts.
I do think that it is not without risk. It's not without risk. Luka has undeniably struggled with staying in shape. And it's been reported today that there were 2 weeks in November where they said it was an elbow, and it was really what go get in shape. Last year, he brought in a whole body team. That hasn't paid off. He brought in his own trainer. That hasn't paid off. I mean, there are risks. He's played 70-plus games twice. And other seasons, he's in the 60s. He's in the high 50s. It's not without risk. But in terms of stardom, in terms of looking beyond LeBron, here is your guiding star. Here is the guy who gets the keys to the franchise. And I don't think we knew the answer to that on Friday.
No. And the fact that the Lakers traded Anthony Davis, I would have told you literally on Friday that was impossible.
Yeah.
But I never – think about all the potential trades we talked about for the last couple of years. We never thought Luka would be available, and I don't think anybody else in the league thought he would be available. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it is – and it is one of the biggest – like, for example, you and I both watch Get Up today.
Yeah.
And Get Up is normally, especially right now, football.
2 hours of Luka.
2 hours of Luka. That's how big a star. That's how big a global superstar he is. And by the way, I wonder if people are listening in Slovenia. Do you think we have Slovenia?
Welcome, Slovenia.
Slovenia, line 1. Go. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that's a huge element. The Kamenetsky said their Locked On Lakers chat had a bunch of people from Slovenia in it. This is a worldwide star that is going to anchor the franchise for years to come. Now, if the Lakers want to make a run this year, Rob has more work to do. But as constructed, John, can this team, if they do nothing else, make a run?
I need to see at least one game of Luka and LeBron playing together before I could answer that. My gut feeling is probably not, because they don't have a big man and
they have no defense.
Right. So I think those are two pretty – defense normally wins championships. But let me see him play a game or two.
Right.
And then I can give you a better idea.
And by the way –
JJ's really smart. I mean, I'll give you an example. Saturday night, I don't know if like the average – Greg, did you watch the game on Saturday night?
Of course I did.
Okay. I don't know. Did you guys notice what the Lakers did every time Karl Anthony Towns caught the ball?
They doubled him.
Sent a second defender right away.
Mm-hmm.
He was so uncomfortable the whole night. He went 3 for 12.
Right.
So their strategy was, all right, we're going to double team Towns. We're going to put Max Christie on
Jalen Brunson
and lock him up.
Yep.
And we'll make one of those other guys beat us. Like Miles McBride hit a couple of threes. They had a couple other guys hit some shots, but for the most part, it was a brilliant defensive game plan. And the Lakers led that game 98% of the time. It never looked like the Knicks were going to win. And it's because that's all JJ.
Right, but
that's all the coaches coming up with it. So can they still do that now? Can they come up with a defensive game plan? Like tomorrow night against the Clippers will be interesting. They don't have Christie to guard James Harden. So what
or
are they
Norman Powell.
Well, Norman Powell has been hurt. I don't know if he's going to play tomorrow or not. But what'll be interesting is Gabe Vincent is now their best on-ball defender.
Yes.
What do you think, Greg? Do you send him on to Harden? Do you send him on to Powell? Do you send him on to Kawhi?
So I would probably put him on Powell, if anything.
Powell had the best game against the Lakers when we played him a couple of weeks ago. And then Jackson Hayes is going to have to guard Zoo unless they make a trade.
And not even Anthony Davis was successful at that the last time the two teams played.
But what I took away from the win, the Knicks had won 5 in a row, and we were in New York, and they had just beat Denver, who owns us. Mace, that game, I know the final score, I think we ended up winning by 14.
Right.
That game wasn't that close. We had them. They couldn't score, and they couldn't move the ball, and LeBron was brilliant. Now you add Luka, maybe.
You still have that.
They've got to solve the defense, but
still have that old defense thing you're working. You did trade your 2 best defensive players.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to regroup on the defensive side and maybe win some games scoring 120.
All right, there are 3 people, all players, that this trade is going to change their lives. I'll tell you who they are coming up.
That's coming up. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN. Let me tell you about Books. You know, Valentine's Day is coming fast, and there's always that question, what do I get her for Valentine's Day? Or him. Don't stress, I got the answer. Send foolproof flowers from the Books Company, and wow, your Valentine is going to love it. Get 25% off your entire purchase right now. Books makes it simple. You choose the Quickie Bouquet. Quickie Buffet. The Quickie Bouquet. With the click of a button, get their best-selling bouquet right on time for Valentine's Day. It's the Quickie she'll brag about for weeks. Or pick from their collection of unique modern designs, or go for their flower subscription, the #1 husband life hack, and be the hero every single month. You cannot go wrong. Bouquets aren't just any flowers. Their flowers are cut fresh where they grow the best, so you can get bigger, brighter blooms that last longer. Some even grown on the side of a volcano. She's going to be blown away by how stunning they are. Valentine's Day, February 14th, right after the big game, so don't fumble the flowers. Get your order in right now. Go to Books.com. Use my promo code ESPN for 25% off. That's BOUQS.com, promo code ESPN. Books, promo code ESPN. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
It's the Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Sylmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
You know, I want to thank them. You know, without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. You know, little help like you guys asked for. You know, I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath and I'm from Sylmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. You know, I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, you know, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
Online classes and career-focused resources, so you can earn your degree while balancing work, family, and everything in between. Visit nu.edu to learn more. That's nu.edu.
When it comes to protecting my family's future, I want a life insurance company that's at the top of their game. That's why I got same-day coverage through Ethos. There was no paperwork, no waiting around, and no medical exam. I just answered a few health questions online, and Ethos set me up with a $3 million policy for about $2 a day. Go to tryethos.com and get it done today. That's TRYETHOS.com. TRYETHOS.com. Sample rates as a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Hi, this is Matthew Stafford of your Los Angeles Rams. This is Mason in Ireland on your home of Rams football, 710 ESPN.
So this was nominated for Record of the Year last night.
This is the Beatles AI song?
It's Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr performing with AI John Lennon, AI George Harrison. Somehow that got nominated for an award. I don't think it should really count.
It didn't win, right?
It did not win. It did not win. So I have got an idea. We've got an accountability text chain.
Okay.
Me and DeMarco and Cappy and everybody's on this thing, right? Luca should be on our accountability text chain.
To make sure he's working out?
To make sure he's working out. We're all working at it. He's got to work at it.
I will say this. The Lakers have every resource available to some. Like, let's say you wanted, like you've been doing this over the past year.
Yeah.
You've decided you're going to get in the best shape of your life.
Yes.
If you worked for the Lakers, it would make it really easy. They have 2 or 3 massage therapists that travel with us. They have a strength coach, and he has an assistant that both travel with us. We have a nutritionist.
Yeah.
All these things are available to Luka and any other Laker player if they want to use it. Like when we go down in the meal room, there's supplements laid out for every player.
Really? It's specific to them?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's like a whole gluten-free section of the room. If you want to, you're on the right team if you want to get in shape. So these are going to be options totally available to Luka.
Right. Who's allergic to? Is anybody here allergic to gluten?
Nope.
I don't even
How
know.
would you know?
I don't even know what it is. What is
stomach
gluten?
would hurt.
It's a bread.
Yeah.
Is gluten bread?
No. Well, I think it's something. It's an ingredient in bread.
Yeah, I know that's like a big thing.
Okay, so I said there are going to be 3 people whose lives are going to change because of this trade. Okay, the first one is Kyrie Irving. Think about this. He couldn't find a job a few years ago. We all you said you wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole.
Yes.
They've now gotten out of the Luka business, and by default, they're in the Kyrie business. And Kyrie can ask for a max deal after this season. And if he doesn't, he can walk. Can you imagine if Kyrie came here? We'd have Luka, Kyrie, and LeBron.
Yeah.
But so I think Kyrie is going to be
Well,
huge
he's going to hell of a two-man game there, too.
Right.
Him and AD are going to wreak some havoc.
And, by the way, same concept. I mentioned that Luka needs to get doubled and LeBron needs to get doubled. You have to double Kyrie. You have to double AD.
Mm-hmm.
And who's going to be standing there all alone? Klay
Thompson, yeah.
Who's arguably one of the best three-point shooters in the world. All right, so, and then this other one's kind of a package deal, these other two guys. I think Jared Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith's minutes just went through the roof.
Yes.
Because
they play defense?
Right. And we now have a team with three guys that are offense first. LeBron, Luka, and Austin. So I think at all times you're going to need to have, depending on whether or not they trade for a big over the next few days, you're going to have to either have Vanderbilt, Vincent, or Finney-Smith on the court at all times.
Right.
Because you're going to need somebody out there to defend.
Well, they're going to have so much offense on the floor.
Right.
I mean, you can afford, like, for example, you can
like
afford
Vando's
to put...
not a great shooter, but you could put him out there for the whole game.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he's going to balance your roster a little bit and get you some defense on the floor along with DFS. But you're right. I mean, between Austin, who's exploited, LeBron, who sometimes plays and sometimes doesn't play defense.
I don't know if I would use the word exploited for Austin. I would use the word targeted.
How about this? Hung out to dry.
They
he gets hung out to dry.
They target him and put him into switches. He fights hard, but he's not always the best defender.
It's not an effort issue. Not an effort issue.
Some guys it is.
Yeah,
but
that's not it with Luka. And
Yeah.
then Luka, defense is not his game.
So Gabe Vincent's going to play more. Dorian Finney-Smith's going to play more, and Jared Vanderbilt's going to play more as a result of this deal. Now, Jovan Buha, who covers the Lakers for The Athletic.
Who I'm beating in fantasy basketball right now.
I think, Greg, he's coming on Laker Talk tonight. What time is Laker Talk with Andy tonight?
That is at 6 o'clock tonight.
6 to 8.
Yes,
right? Okay.
6 to 8.
So Jovan's going to come on tonight if you want to hear what he has to say. But here's something he wrote that I thought was interesting.
Okay.
Because I think he's right on with this. He says, quote, "The Lakers were offered a generational talent not yet at the peak of his powers on a golden platter. The correct decision was to accept the deal and figure out the rest later. Their future went from murky to bright. Even if they took a short-term step back," and then in parentheses, "and even then, there's obviously a chance that Doncic and James could be great together."
Right.
So I see it the way he sees it. I think they took a step back. They're not as good as they were Friday. But by adding Luka, you're rolling the dice that him and LeBron are lightning in a bottle. Completely possible.
Right.
And also, you have a transcendent piece to build around moving forward. I thought his assessment was dead on.
This is what Nico Harrison told, looks like Tim McMahon. "I believe that defense wins championships. I believe that getting an all-defensive center and an all-NBA player with a defensive mindset gives us a better chance. We're built to win now and in the future."
We'll see.
Yeah, we're going to fight. It's a sliding
How
doors
interesting.
moment.
You want to bet that the networks pick up the last two Lakers Maverick games?
Oh, yeah. They've got two, one here and one there, right?
Yes.
The one there is going to be especially interesting.
Right, because it's Luka going back to Dallas.
Exactly.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
All right, let's do another round of calls coming up. 877-710-ESPN. It is a monster day. Really, there are days we sit here and we talk about sports, and then there are days we sit here and talk about stuff that
one
is
thing.
Like years from now, people will talk about the day the Lakers traded for
and
Luka
how weird
Doncic.
is it that it was February 1st, the exact same day the Lakers traded for Pau Gasol back in 2008.
Yeah.
February 1st is going to be named Laker Day.
It is.
Moving forward.
All right, 877-710-ESPN, Mason in Ireland, 710-ESPN.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Silmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
I want to thank them. Without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. Little help, like you guys asked for. I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Fimath, and I'm from Silmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where we'd be at, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Ortho are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. Could be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, or you could nominate yourself. You could win prizes like sweet tickets, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, or the grand prize, Invisalign. Enter now at ESPNLA.com, and remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Ortho.
So download the Prize Picks app, use the code Cappy, make a $5 play, get a $50 bonus instantly.
Prize Picks, run your game.
Hey, John Ireland here. If you're looking to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage. They'll make you a cash offer, no need for repairs. They buy as is. With Seller's Advantage, there are no agents. They can close in days, and they buy with cash. They'll even offer a $10,000 advance to help with moving and other expenses. Check out their reviews online and call for a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, and visit sellersadvantage.com.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
I know it's from the Grammys. Chopper On. This is the Chopper On song. Yeah, she's really good. She won Best New Artist last night at the Grammy Awards. I thought it was a pretty good show.
Yeah, I liked it. I always think Trevor Noah does a good job.
Nice job.
I like the open a lot when he played I Love LA.
I thought the tribute to Quincy Jones was cool.
Well, that was when Janelle Monáe took the stage, man. She blew everybody away.
Yeah, she was amazing.
She's unbelievable. All right, we've been taking your calls all day on this Luka thing, and coming up a little later in this hour, if you had to give this trade a letter grade, both for the Lakers and for the Mavericks, what would you give it? We'll do that after some calls.
Okay, cool.
Here's Frank. Hey, Frank, you're on Sports Graffiti. You're on ESPN LA.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how are you, man?
Good, Frank.
Hey, I'm a longtime Celtics fan. I think you guys got a great pick right there, great trade. And John, to you, I got to say you're one of the best announcers in the league.
Thank you, Frank. Very nice of you.
Dicker, proud, and Johnny Most, they're all proud of you, looking down on you, man.
Oh, man, that's incredibly nice. Thank you.
Nice.
Here's Oscar.
Boston.
All right, there you go.
Hey, Oscar, you're on ESPN LA. Go.
Mason and Ireland, OGs of old sports.
Oscar,
Radio. Real quick, Luka. I watched Saturday night, man. Didn't believe it. Well, I watched the fight, actually. Had more than a couple cold ones. And Mason, it was like this one. Had a little green in my system, so I didn't believe it at first.
Yeah, hey, by the way, Oscar, nobody believed it.
I did not believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, I will tell you, I was cooking Saturday night. I was cooking, and I didn't believe it.
Oscar, the first reaction of all of us who were with the team in New York was Shams got hacked.
Yeah.
That this is not possible. I mean, I don't know anybody who didn't have that reaction. That's how improbable this was.
And by the way, it was interesting because I was droned. I had a couple of drinks. I had a couple of old fashions. I had a gummy, and I was like, and when it happened, Juan said, "Is this important?" Luka Doncic got traded for Anthony Davis. I'm like, yeah, right. And then it went from there, and you go down the route, and you think this is impossible. How could a trade of this magnitude been made under cover of darkness?
Right.
Nobody friggin' knew it was going on.
And nobody leaked it.
Yeah.
Here's Carlos. Hey, Carlos, you're on ESPN LA. Hi.
Hey, what's up, guys? Well, first of all, I'm really excited that Luka is in LA, and I'm glad, we parted ways with Anthony Davis, with street clothes Anthony Davis. I hate to say it, man. He's always injured. He never came through for us. He disappeared in the fourth quarter all the time, multiple times. Now we got an all-time player, and we're set for the future from when LeBron leaves. Now we're going to see where Bronny goes from here. Does he keep going with the Lakers? Or what's Bronny's future going to look like from now on?
Thanks, Carlos, for the call.
I think you're being incredibly hard on Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I think you're being unfair to Anthony Davis. I never thought the street clothes, Nick, I think, it was a funny thing Barkley said on TV, but I never thought the moniker fit. In terms of what would happen to Bronny, I think Bronny and LeBron are linked. I think that if LeBron did ask to be traded, which I believe he will not do.
Bronny would be a throw-in in the deal.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't think the Lakers would keep the dad and the son away. Here's Spoiler Jerry.
Hey,
Spoiler Jerry, go.
Hey, guys. I called last week. I mentioned to Mason that I thought the Lakers were looking good, and they were playing very well. I don't think they should do anything to the team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to really miss Christie. I thought Christie was coming on. And here's a question for you, John. If Luka goes to his physical today,
yeah,
and something comes up that they didn't mention, would that void the trade?
Yes, both players have to clear a physical.
Do they not clear the physical before the trade, or do they do it after the trade?
I don't know the answer to that, but each trade includes a physical. So my assumption is you get the physical when you get to the new team, and then they can retroactively void the trade. But I don't expect that'll happen because both these guys have been injured and have been monitored, and I'm sure the doctors exchange stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And the Lakers doctors are all UCLA health guys, are super smart. If Luka would have been red flagged, we'd know it by now.
Yeah. For sure.
I think.
I mean, there are red flags. I mean, there are things related to weight and conditioning that Nico Harrison sort of hinted at, but that just is part of the deal here.
And by the way, there are just some people that are okay being fat when they play. I mean,
although he did miss 2 weeks of the season because he had to get in shape back in November.
Right, but I actually. There's nothing in Luka's past. He's made 5 All-NBA teams.
There's no question
first
about
teams. That. And so he's able to, whatever his weight is, he's able to play. Here's Devin. Hey, Devin, you're on ESPN LA. Hi.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? I just wanted to say that this move for the Lakers, obviously, I love for the future and for now. But for the Mavericks, I just wanted to say that I think AD's impact on them is going to be like Pau Gasol's impact was on us when he got traded to the Lakers, and I could see them winning it this year and next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
No, I think in the short term, Dallas improved itself. I mean,
right.
they added defense, and as Nico Harrison said, defense wins championships. The Lakers are thinking now and down the line. I don't think Nico Harrison's necessarily considering what the Mavericks are going to be doing in 5 years because Anthony Davis will be, 37 years old at that point.
Yeah. Do you agree with Jovan? Because I do in this regard.
Okay.
When he said, if you get a chance to get Luka, you do it and figure out the rest later.
Amen. I agree.
Yeah,
I completely agree.
There are things to be figured out.
Yeah,
they got to figure out how to play defense.
Right, and there's going to be stuff.
But you can't not do this deal.
Correct. And by the way, and I don't think you cannot do anything else this week. You have to do
they're
other
trying.
things.
I guarantee you they're trying.
I'm sure they are.
It's just a matter of it takes 2 to tango.
You need at least one big on that roster.
See, I'll use a name that I know is unavailable.
Yeah.
I did this when I came on with the Kamenetskis yesterday. They need a guy like Steven Adams who can play 20 minutes a game and just beat up anybody that comes into the paint. That's why I wouldn't be against, I've heard that they don't want a big lumbering center.
They don't want Jonas Valanciunas.
Or Yusuf Nurkic. But DeAndre Ayton, what if they could get Robert Williams? What if they could get Walker Kessler? What if they could get Miles Turner?
Jakob Poeltl.
Yeah. Nikola Vucevic.
Yeah.
I mean,
all those guys
any of those guys fit.
Yeah.
I got a weird feeling Vucevic ends up at Golden State. We'll see. Here's George. Hey, George, you're on ESPN LA. Hi.
Hey, guys. Love the trade. But an opportunity has come up for the Lakers with the other trade. There's another team now that's rebuilding, needs a point guard, and has an all-star center. That's Domantas Sabonis. The Kings need a point guard. Sabonis is redundant. They're rebuilding. Sabonis is around 29, could fit the Lakers, and they could get him from Austin Reeves for Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is now redundant, unfortunately. I love Austin. But he's redundant. What do you guys think?
I like the way you're thinking.
I love Domantas Sabonis. He's a tremendous talent.
I cannot imagine in any circumstance
them getting off of him,
them trading Domantas Sabonis. But as of Friday, I would have said the exact same thing about Luka.
But he does make an interesting point. It would not surprise me to see Austin Reeves moved in a deal before Thursday.
Only if it was for a player like Sabonis. You'd have to. I don't think the Lakers would trade Austin for anything but an all-star.
But you do have LeBron and Luka, who are pretty ball dominant, and the ball is going to be less in Austin Reeves' hands.
I'm glad you brought this up. Everybody's saying LeBron and Luka are going to have trouble coexisting because they're both ball dominant. Think about this. This is exactly what everyone said when LeBron went to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
They said there's no way LeBron and Dwayne Wade can coexist because they both need the ball. Well, they started 9-8. Then they figured it out and went to 4 straight NBA Finals, won twice.
Yeah.
And they also had to get touches for Chris Bosh in that scenario. So then LeBron goes back to Cleveland.
Right.
And the guy who had the highest usage rate at the time was Kyrie Irving.
Right.
And they said, LeBron and Kyrie can't play together. Because remember, Kyrie wasn't there in LeBron's first Cleveland stint.
Right.
And everybody said, Kyrie and LeBron both need the ball. They can't play together. Well, they went to 4 straight finals and they won one. And then you come to the Lakers and LeBron has played every role. He's played center, he's played forward, he's played guard, he's done everything. LeBron and Luka are going to figure it out. They're two of the best passers. And between the two of them, they average 16 assists a game.
Right.
You know, they're going to be fine. And I think it's going to be really fun to watch. The question is, can JJ and the coaching staff come up with a defense that can keep Lakers in the games against really good teams?
I don't think they have the pieces to do that.
Well, we'll find out.
Right. I mean, they're going to have
we
to
don't
make
know
moves.
if they have the pieces.
Right now, they do not have the pieces to be a good defensive team.
Here is Nate. Hey, Nate, you're on ESPN LA. Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So I just want to go to AD's defense. I mean, I've been listening to everything and just give AD his flowers for a second. Like, everyone is really on ESPN. Everything is just about like we're getting Luka and Luka and Luka. We're losing Anthony Davis in the best season that we've had him. And he's been an MVP caliber player this entire time. He's not the street clothes that Charles Barkley said. I wasn't excited when I heard the news. It hurt when I heard the news. I wasn't and I get it, 25-year-old Luka in the future, but we could win with Anthony. And I just feel Anthony Davis never even got a video with Pelicans. He's going to get one with the Lakers. He won a championship with us.
Yeah.
So I just sorry to AD.
Yeah. No, I mean, AD's, I think, and I'll tell you what, he outgrew whatever it was, the Charles Barkley street clothes thing. He's played more than 70 games last year.
Yeah.
Played in 41 of, I think, 45 games this year. Has a abdominal thing and missed a couple of games. But for the most part, Anthony Davis has been ready and available for the last 2 seasons.
Do you think it hurt him in any way that he came out and said publicly, I don't want to play center anymore? Probably didn't help.
Did not help.
But I'll say this again because I want to be consistent. Anybody who works for the Lakers, and I'm including myself in this, isn't going to say anything bad about Anthony Davis. He was great.
Right.
He's a great guy. He was a great teammate. He was a great leader. He did everything they asked him to do. I can count the amount of people on one hand I would trade Anthony Davis for, and Luka's one of them. But I mean, it may be I can only think of 3 off the top of my head. Well, I just thought of a 4th. I'd trade him for Jokic.
Yep.
I'd trade him for SGA,
Wemby,
and Luka. So but I don't know if I would have to think long and hard about trading him for Tatum.
Yes,
I think they're basically equally valuable. I wouldn't trade him for Embiid because that's a guy who's always hurt.
Yes, always hurt.
But Anthony Davis is going to be remembered as a great Laker. And although Max Christie was young and kind of developed by the Lakers, he'll be missed too. Both those guys are really well liked.
Yeah.
And I'll be shocked if you hear tomorrow when they do this presser at 9 a.m., and I'm sure, Greg, we'll carry that live, won't we, tomorrow morning?
Yes, we will be carrying it live on Travis and DeMarco.
I will be stunned, Mace.
Yep.
Not just surprised, but stunned if anyone, including LeBron and Rob, say anything bad about Max or AD.
Well, I'd be shocked.
I'd like, well, Luka, I mean...
but you wouldn't do it. I mean, you wouldn't do it.
Nico kind of did.
Yeah, I mean, Nico kind of, yeah.
And Nico, I know Nico. He's a great guy. And he doesn't do a ton of press conferences, so maybe he didn't realize what he was saying. But when he came out and said, some guys add to the culture and some guys detract from it, and these guys we have coming in are adding to the culture.
Yeah.
That's a backhanded slap at Luka.
It is. I think this is Luka's father in Slovenia came out and talked about how disrespectful it was. It is kind of disrespectful the way the Mavericks have handled Luka's exit.
And it cost Luka millions,
$100 million,
which is going to be another motivator. I hope he comes in here full of spite and anger and plays mad.
So do you think he'll sign a max, or do you think he'll do like the 1-and-1 kind of LeBron sort of thing?
The latter.
Yeah.
I think he will sign an extension to set him up for a max down the road. But I'll be surprised if Luka's not here for the next 10 years.
Yeah, me too.
All right, coming up next, we'll ask everybody here on the show to give the Lakers and the Mavericks a letter grade on the trade, and we'll share with you some experts who gave it a letter grade as well.
All right, so first thing I did when I started working with the Southern California Hyundai dealers is like, I've always driven a Hyundai. I might as well get a new one, and I did. I got the Elantra Hybrid. And the first time I ever drove a hybrid, it's getting like 50 miles a gallon. It's amazing. I love it. And what's really cool? The Hyundai Ioniq 6. They let me try one of these out for a few days. Spectacular. It's an EV with a long driving range and cutting-edge technology. Don't forget the Sonata, very sharp design. The Santa Fe, if you want to go SUV. And as always, every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty. 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. Add more joy to every journey in a brand new Hyundai. Visit buyhyundai.com or see your SoCal Hyundai dealer today. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Mina Kimes, host of the Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny, here to tell you about a live podcast taping I am doing in Los Angeles Monday, February 3rd, right before the Super Bowl. I am joined by Greg Rosenthal, Jordan Rodriguez, Chris Ryan, Andy Greenwald, and the Rams' own Kobe Turner. 100% of your ticket proceeds go to wildfire relief here in Los Angeles. Check it out, minapodlive.com.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Ortho are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. Could be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, or you could nominate yourself. You could win prizes like sweet tickets, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, or the grand prize, Invisalign. Enter now at ESPNLA.com, and remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Ortho.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Silmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
I want to thank them. Without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. Little help like you guys asked for. I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California, and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Silmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
Brought to you by National University.
Jackie Robinson began his career with the Brooklyn Dodgers on April 15, 1947. He was the first African-American player in Major League Baseball, winner of the first Rookie of the Year award. He was named MVP 2 years later. He was elected into the Hall of Fame in 1962. In April of 1997, his number was retired permanently throughout Major League Baseball.
Built for the dreamers and doers and history makers. Start your journey at nu.edu.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
So the Lakers pulled off a coup on Saturday night, acquiring Luka Doncic in exchange for Max Christie, Anthony Davis, and just one #1 pick. At no point did Nico Harrison take Luka Doncic to the market. It was a pocket deal. It was private. It was quiet, and it came out of nowhere.
All right. So a friend of mine just sent me this text. He's connected. He also has a lot of interest in Texas, right? From a Dallas source.
Okay.
The new Mavs owner, the Adelson Group, are absolutely not basketball people. They're casino developers who bought the Mavs to use as a centerpiece in their proposed mega stadium casino project in Dallas. Mark Cuban had to sell his interest in the Mavs to join this project. Unfortunately, the Texas legislature has thrown a giant roadblock into the plan. The development will now have to wait 2 years at the earliest to be greenlit. Because of this, the new owners have zero interest in giving out large contracts because they aren't basketball people. They'll probably get out if this project doesn't go.
Right.
So they have no interest in giving anyone a supermax contract. As always, follow the money.
Right.
So that's interesting.
So the suggestion is that ownership didn't see Luka as a $350 million max player.
Right. And so I think the moral of that story is don't forget that any deal like this has to have ownership approval. They had to be involved in some way. All right. If you had to give Greg, I'll start with you. If you had to give each team a letter grade for the trade, what would you give the Lakers?
And this is only for long term.
Trade.
For the long term.
Grade the trade.
The trade.
Anyway, you want to.
All right, I would give the Lakers an A-.
Okay.
I think it's overall a great trade for them, and I'd also give the Mavericks a B+.
Okay.
Pretty close.
So pretty close. Brian, how about you?
I'd for sure give the Lakers an A long term looking at it.
Yeah.
And I'm in the same category. I think I'd give the Mavs a B. I think the AD on that team could be pretty filthy.
Mace?
I'd love to be different, but I think the Lakers get an A, and Dallas, because their defense tightened up. They've added players that can help them right now. I think they get a B+.
I see this exactly the way you guys see it. I would have given the Lakers an A and the Mavericks a B. Now I'm going to play for you our friend Kevin O'Connor, who now works for Yahoo. KOC's been on our show. He used to work for The Ringer. He used to work at ESPN. All this guy does, all Kevin O'Connor does, is look at basketball games, watch basketball, critique basketball, do podcasts about basketball. He was asked, give each team a letter grade, and you will be stunned, particularly the grade he gives Dallas. Here he is.
I'm giving the Lakers an A-
in the deal. An A- only because, I don't know, a little knock here because with Luka, he still needs to prove he can stay healthy and be in good conditioning. There's still some concern there. He's going to be paid a ton of money moving forward. It's really an A+. It's an A+ for the Lakers. It's an A+ for both of them, okay? I'm an easy grader. For the Mavericks, though, oh boy. This is an incomplete in one sense. This could be an F+ because of the lack of trade return. It could be a B at best if this team ends up looking great. If AD stays healthy through the playoffs and there's potential with Kyrie moving forward. Maybe all things work out there. But trade return-wise, it's an F. How do you only get one first-round pick back? The Lakers had 2 they could offer and swaps, and you only get 1 back. So I'm giving an F+ to the Mavericks for this trade grade.
F+.
Well, I got the plus.
We
in
all
there.
gave B's. F+.
Yeah, that's a rough. He's a rough teacher.
That's crazy.
Although, to his point, reportedly at one point, the deal did include Dalton Connect and the other first-round pick, according to Kirk Goldsberry.
And I wonder what was coming back. Was it? Were we maybe trying to get Daniel Gafford, or maybe trying to get a big coming back, and that's where it fell apart? I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is what Goldsberry says. He says, I think Rob Pelinka was able to convince the Dallas Mavericks that Luka is a lot of risk, and you guys are right for trying to look at this the way, because this guy, his weight problem, whatever it is. So they were able to convince it that this was a weeks-long process, that another thing came out today and Dallas started it. So it sounds as though Rob was able to talk them down, suggesting that there are, that the conditioning thing and the weight thing is a real thing, and that allowed him to get him for a lighter package.
Okay, let me throw this theory at you. Bill Plaschke wrote in the Los Angeles Times this morning, he loves this trade.
Sure.
He says it is a great first step for the Lakers. But he says the move now, and again, this is not me, this is Bill Plaschke, lead sports columnist for the LA Times, is to convince LeBron to waive his no trade and get him out of here.
Right.
Bill feels strongly that the Lakers can't move on. And Greg, this is kind of an argument you've been making for months.
Yep.
That and I want to be really clear about this. You like LeBron. Bill does not.
Right.
You have said from the beginning, LeBron might be the greatest player ever. He's really good. But if you're going to turn a corner and get ready, and this, by the way, this Luka trade changes that whole dynamic for you.
Absolutely does. Yeah.
Do you want LeBron out now?
So now it's a little bit more tough because it depends on what's coming back.
Right, because it answered your question.
I wanted to jumpstart.
Right, your whole argument for months has been the Lakers have to start planning for the future, and they should do it sooner rather than later. Well, now they've done it.
They made the ultimate future
and you
play.
didn't give up LeBron to do it, so you can have your cake and eat it too if you want it. Do you want it?
Yeah, yes, I do want it, but at the same time, I would have preferred it the other way around. I would have preferred to keep AD and move on from LeBron.
I don't think the Mavs would have done
they
that.
would not. They would have not have done it. So this was the only way to get this done. So yes, now at this point, you keep LeBron, you keep everything in, unless you're getting something amazing coming back. Otherwise, you keep LeBron. You bring in another center. You bring in a couple of more defensive pieces, and then you can be a team that is actually going to be building for the future and building with LeBron.
Jake Fisher reports that Golden State has reached out to the Lakers about LeBron James, and this is not the first time. Remember last year, right around the trade deadline, I think it was like February last year, there was a conversation between Jeannie and Joe Lacob at one point, and it didn't go anywhere, but it's still floating around out there. And when you think about LeBron and Steph Curry playing together in the Olympics and what we saw, I think Joe Lacob and the Warriors want to take a big swing and see if they can put those guys together.
By the way, LeBron and Steph were the reason we won the gold medal.
Yeah.
Those two guys carried that team. All right, I'm going to read one paragraph out of this Plaschke story, Mason. I want you to tell me if you agree with it. All right? 1 down, 1 to go. And now that he's finally seen the light, don't put it past Pelinka to pull it off. He knows the team needs to be gutted. He knows his job might depend on it. He is surely tired of being called Rich Paul's caddy, and he knows it's time for a divorce. You agree or disagree with that?
Oh, that's so tough. Well, I think that Rich Paul's influence over the Los Angeles Lakers organization has been immense. LeBron's control over the organization. This is the first move that was made without LeBron's consultation, without, I assume, Clutch's their conversation. I mean, I would love to see him ask for a trade. I would love to see him ask for a trade.
And by the way,
what does Golden State mean?
If this doesn't solidify Rob as a good GM, I don't know what Bill's talking about. His job might depend on it.
No, this is a home run.
Nobody else could have pulled this off.
No, this is a total home run for the Lakers. Total home run for Rob Pelinka. It's not a LeBron deal. He gets 100% complete and total credit for this. He made it happen. Now, the question is, do you want to take that next step? I would imagine it's really LeBron's decision. It's not the Lakers' decision.
I'm so glad you brought that up. He has a no trade.
Yeah.
You can't do this without his permission.
LeBron would have to go to them and say, I want traded. And I'm certain that the Lakers would try to facilitate that because this is how the Lakers deal with star players.
Yeah, it's the old Jerry West line. If you don't want to be here, tell me and we will accommodate you.
They're not going to Luka
somebody,
which is essentially what happened. Luka, down there just got...
Am I the only one of the four of us that really, really wants LeBron and Luka to play together?
Play them together.
Oh, I mean, I think that's
no. What Mason's saying, if it was up to him, he would move LeBron by Thursday. If it was up to him,
yeah.
I mean, it's. I know I've been advocating for his movement for quite some time.
You're not being hypocritical here because your argument has always been based on you wanted to know what the plan was for the future. Now you know.
Right.
So now if you want to keep LeBron, you're not going against what you've always said. But do you?
I think that this team can win this way as long as they get other pieces, and that's kind of where
that's kind of the linchpin.
If you don't get this, that's why this trade is still kind of up in the air. If for this year specifically, for the future,
for this year, I think there are huge question marks.
Yeah, there's huge question marks. Moving forward, this is the exact right thing to do. For this year, this trade, you need more because they've lost so much defensively, so much in the middle that this year kind of seems like a bust unless they can make other moves.
Okay, I know we got Game of Games coming up, but when we come back in the next segment, I'm going to give you a really good tidbit from Sam Amick and a good one from John Hollinger, too.
Awesome. All right, so I love my sleeper picks. This week, Sleeper's running a special offer for the big game this Sunday. We already know how good Sleeper app is. It's the best and only app that I play. It is the better way to play daily fantasy with Sleeper picks. All you got to do is pick more or less on at least two players' projected stats. You can win up to 1,000 times your money. And for the big game on Sunday, all users get a $50 protected pick. Are you hearing this, Brian? $50 protected pick, meaning you can place an entry up to $50, and if it doesn't hit, you get a free entry back for the same value.
Oh, great deal.
How do you beat that? By the way, I hit on Sleeper yesterday.
Oh, very nice. I hit this weekend as well.
Did you? What'd you hit on?
A two-leg parlay, Wemby and Kevin Durant, alternative lines, both at least 5 threes, and they hit 20 times my money. So that was a nice little win.
Nice. I hit Evan Mobley, double-double. Cade Cunningham, more than 9.5 assists. Lonzo Ball, more than 17.5 points, rebounds, plus assists. Jalen Duran, double-double. And Ayo Dosunmu, am I right on that one? Dosunmu, more than 18.5 points.
Oh, so very nice.
Hit that. That was a 5-legger, and that paid 14 times my money. I'm telling you, it is fun to always have some action going on in the game. And how much will this Sunday be if you're guaranteed another shot? By the way, if you use code 710, you still get $55 in free plays when you play $5. That is for new users when you use code 710. And by the way, the protected pick for the big game is for everybody. Sleeper, free to download. Sleeper picks, real money, 100% legal in California. Do what I do. Do what everybody over here is doing. And download the Sleeper app today. Mason in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Sedano and Cap.
Today at 3 p.m. after Mason and Ireland.
George.
Right.
Man. George, freaking DeAndre. This guy.
Hey guys, it's Mina Kimes, host of the Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny, here to tell you about a live podcast taping I am doing in Los Angeles Monday, February 3rd, right before the Super Bowl. I am joined by Greg Rosenthal, Jordan Rodriguez, Chris Ryan, Andy Greenwald, and the Rams' own Kobe Turner. 100% of your ticket proceeds go to wildfire relief here in Los Angeles. Check it out, minapodlive.com.
I'm Doug Hopkins.
And I'm Damon Lyons.
And we want to buy your house.
With over 30 years in the business and more than 20,000 real estate transactions, Seller's Advantage offers a much better buying experience.
We don't charge agent fees, you pay no commissions, and you make no repairs. Seller's Advantage will show you a no obligation as-is cash offer and can close in just a few days.
Just check out our Google reviews and see for yourself.
Call Seller's Advantage today or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill?
It's just better for you.
Right now, get our Value Bowl combo for only $8.99. Waba Grill, it's for you.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Mace. All right, let's tackle the age-old question. What do I get her for Valentine's Day? I got the answer. Send foolproof flowers from the Books Company, and wow, your Valentine. Get 25% off your entire purchase. Books makes it simple. Choose the Quickie Book. With the click of a button, get their best-selling bouquet right on time for Valentine's Day. It's the Quickie she'll brag about for weeks. Or pick from their collection of unique modern designs or go to their flower subscription, the #1 husband life hack, and be the hero every month. You can't go wrong. Books, not just flowers. They're flowers that are cut fresh where they grow the best, so you get bigger, brighter blooms that last longer. She will be blown away by how stunning they are. Valentine's Day, February 14th, right after the big game, so don't fumble the flowers. Get your order in now. Go to Books.com, use my promo code ESPN for 25% off. That's BOUQS.com, promo code ESPN. Books, promo code ESPN.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
It's a key ingredient called Tesnor. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. Total T is backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text LION to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text LION to 321321. That's LION to 321321.
Listen to Mason and Ireland more at 1 p.m.
Juan will look at me at some point tonight and say, "Are you even enjoying this?"
More of Mason and Ireland right now.
Yikes, it's one of those nights when Juan is out of town, which means I'm left with the dogs and the making of the dinner and the cleaning up of the house.
So the house is going to be a mess, is what you're telling me.
No, I go out of my way to make sure the house is perfect when he gets home tomorrow. So, it's a huge day because Luka Doncic is a Los Angeles Laker.
All right, now I'm going to read you one thing from Hollinger and one thing from Sam Amick, and tell me if you agree with either.
Got it.
All right, let's start with Hollinger. Okay. This was absolutely a no-brainer for the Lakers. Like, get Dallas and the league's lawyers on the phone right now before they change their mind territory. Regardless of what you may think of his injuries or conditioning, the full-strength version of Luka is a top 5 player in the league. He's perhaps the best offensive player on the planet in the postseason because of his ability to manipulate matchups in the half court. He's also just 25, allowing the Lakers to reset the clock on a roster that was simultaneously getting long in the tooth and suffering a diminishing ceiling. You agree? They had to do it.
If that player comes on the market, you absolutely must do it. If it's Luka Doncic, you do it, period.
Okay, Sam Amick said something that I had not heard before. He said that the main reason the Lakers did this is they weren't sure that AD was an A1 star.
100% agree with this. 100% agree with this.
Because I've always thought he was.
He's not. He is a B. He is not an A.
He's Pau Gasol.
He's Pau Gasol.
The reason Pau Gasol was so great for the Lakers, to put it in your vernacular, is that at the time, Pau was an A in Memphis.
Yes.
And Kobe was the A in L.A. When they got Pau, he wasn't good enough to be an A on a championship team, but he was so much better than everyone else's B that it almost gave you an A and an A1.
I completely agree with this, and I think
you think AD is in the same boat?
I think he's a complimentary He's a superstar,
right?
But I don't think he's your one. I think he's your two. A great two.
Maybe the best two ever.
Yeah, maybe the best two ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you say you found something from Shams that supports the John Ireland wish list that LeBron and Luka will stay together.
Yes. Let's listen to Shams Tranian.
Malika, this deal definitely materialized in the shadows, in the cloak of secrecy in a lot of ways between Rob Pelinka, the general manager, executive vice president of the Lakers, and Nico Harrison, the general manager of the Dallas Mavericks. This didn't become an actuality until the Mavericks formally offered Luka Doncic to the Lakers recently. And when you get offered Luka Doncic, it's hard to, when you huddle, when Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, when they huddle, it's hard not to accept that. In Anthony Davis, the Mavericks are getting a player that's a win-now piece, 40-20 in his last game with the Lakers. But make no mistake, Luka Doncic for the next 10 years is going to be the face of that Lakers organization. And there's a lot of questions right now. What's LeBron James' future? What is he thinking? There's not going to be a move for LeBron James out of Los Angeles right now as far as everyone is concerned. But the relationship between him and Luka Doncic is something I'm definitely going to keep an eye on. The Lakers want LeBron James to be a mentor of sorts, someone that can help Luka Doncic continue to develop the right habits, develop everything on and off the court. And I think we're going to see that play out over the coming weeks, days, years.
That's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Double L's, LeBron and Luka.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Well, Luka was a huge fan of LeBron's growing up.
His favorite player growing up.
His favorite player. And, there are a lot of elements of Luka's game that look a lot like LeBron's game. So, that mentor role, if LeBron takes it on, if Luka's receptive to it, I think there's great opportunity there. I still think this team and again, I'm just going to say, as currently constructed, as of Monday, February the 3rd, I don't believe can compete for a championship, but it's going to depend on what happens the next few days leading up to Thursday's trade deadline at 1 o'clock. All right, coming up next for you is Game of Games. It is John Ireland's game today.
It is.
In the meantime, it's game time. Are you ready to chumba? At Chumba Casino, the action never stops. Play online social games anytime, anywhere for free. No purchase necessary. Your playbook is stacked. Think bingo, solitaire, slots, so much more. Hundreds of games. You'll never run out of action, and here's the kicker. They're dropping fresh games every single week. It's like a highlight reel of fun ready for you to tackle. Plus, there's free daily login bonuses and a sweet welcome bonus when you join. Now, that's what I call fun. Play for free. Take your shot. You could redeem some awesome prizes, so what are you waiting for? The clock is ticking. The game is on. Suit up. Take your shot, and let's chumba. ChumbaCasino.com. Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Ortho are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. Could be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, or you could nominate yourself. You could win prizes like sweet tickets, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, or the grand prize, Invisalign. Enter now at ESPNLA.com, and remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Ortho.
Hey guys, it's Mina Kimes, host of the Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny, here to tell you about a live podcast taping I am doing in Los Angeles Monday, February 3rd, right before the Super Bowl. I am joined by Greg Rosenthal, Jordan Rodriguez, Chris Ryan, Andy Greenwald, and the Rams' own Kobe Turner. 100% of your ticket proceeds go to wildfire relief here in Los Angeles. Check it out, minapodlive.com.
I'm Doug Hopkins.
And I'm Damon Lyons, and we want to buy your house.
If you're considering selling your home for any reason, let Seller's Advantage show you a better way to sell your home.
With no agent fees, no commissions, no hassles, and no repairs.
Just a fair cash offer that can close in just a few days. We don't just promise more, we deliver a much better customer experience.
Check out our Google reviews and see how.
Call Seller's Advantage or visit sellersadvantage.com for free, no obligation cash offer.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
See if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates, not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
710 ESPN.
And it is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland. Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
Joining us live from New Orleans is Scott Kaplan. He's down there for the Super Bowl. Cappy, what's happening, man?
Hello, gentlemen.
Cap, how cold is it there?
Oh, my God, dude. It's like hot out.
Oh, is it really good?
Yeah, I was there 3 weeks ago, and it was freezing.
Well, there was a blizzard at some point there.
Right. They had 12 inches of snow on Bourbon Street, and today it's like summertime.
Beautiful.
Nice.
All right, so not surprisingly.
Did you hear about this Luka Doncic trade?
What trade?
He was Cap, you were the only one who didn't answer the bell yesterday. Cappy was there.
Cappy
I was there.
Oh, wow.
Sedano
I
was
don't
there.
answer bells on weekends.
Why would you not, Mace?
He doesn't check his phone.
I don't even look at my phone on the weekends. I'm so disconnected when I go on my weekend. Anyway.
All right, here we go. The Lakers, you may have heard, have traded for Luka Doncic, so this is a quiz about Luka.
Oh,
all right. Question 1. In 2015, Luka made his debut for Real Madrid's senior team, becoming the youngest player in club history. How old was Luka when he debuted for Real Madrid? A, 14, B, 15, C, 16. Brian, 14, 15, or 16?
15.
Greg?
I don't know what his birthday is, so I will say 14.
All right, Mace?
I'll say 15.
Cappy?
I'm also saying 14.
Nobody got it. He was 16.
He was 16
when he debuted for Real Madrid.
10 years ago.
All
I
right,
don't know
next
if
one.
his birthday is
Greg, this one coming to you. Luka's dad, Sasa, was a former basketball player and coach. His mom, Mirjam, is a business owner. What type of business does she own? A, a beauty salon. B, a clothing store. C, a restaurant. Beauty salon, clothing store, or restaurant?
Clothing store.
All right, Mace.
Restaurant.
Cappy.
Beauty salon.
Brian.
Restaurant.
Scott Kaplan has the lead.
It's a beauty
I
salon.
know
Beauty
Luka.
salon.
I know who Luka. I know Luka's family.
Yeah.
I know his whole background.
Sasa,
I know the whole
you
thing.
probably talked to Sasa
Oh,
already
Sasa.
today?
Yeah,
Hey,
that's Cappy's
Sasa owes me
boy.
a case of wine.
He hate King Sasa.
Every Slovenian owes
Different
you
guy.
wine.
By the way, now, Cappy, I don't want to ruin it, But I did get a text from Sasha Vujicic over the weekend.
Nice.
It says he's sending a case of wine for all of us to enjoy to the station.
Oh,
Let's
that's
see
great.
if it shows up.
Did you hear that, Cappy? All of us, not for
Okay.
you.
Not
all
just
of
you.
us.
Well, I'd like my bottle. That's
Okay.
all. One bottle's
All right.
good for me.
Excellent.
Okay. In 2019, Mace, this one coming to you.
Okay.
Luka became the second European-born player ever to win the NBA's Rookie of the Year award. Who was the first European-born player to win that award? A. Emeka Okafor. B. Patrick Ewing. C. Pau Gasol. Okafor, Ewing, or Gasol, Mace?
Okafor.
Cappy.
Ewing.
Brian.
Gasol.
Greg.
How?
It's Pau Gasol, and Brian is tied cap for the lead.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
All right, that's only two. Only two European-born players ever to win it, Pau and Luka.
So what's the score?
Oh, Brian won, Cappy won.
I got that one too.
You said
I said pow.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something else. All right, so you're on the board. So everybody but Mace is on the board.
Come
All
on,
right.
Mace.
Cappy, this one to you. In that rookie season,
Yeah.
2019, Luka finished second in All-Star fan voting, but he was not put on the All-Star team after the media and player vote came in. He ended up playing in the Rising Stars game that year instead. Who finished first ahead of Luka in All-Star voting in 2019? A. LeBron, B. Steph, C. Giannis. Cappy, LeBron, Steph, or Giannis?
I'm going to say Steph.
Okay, Brian.
Giannis.
Greg.
That was right in the middle of the Giannis. I'm going to go with LeBron, though.
Mace.
I'm going Giannis.
The answer is LeBron James,
Oh,
and shockingly,
by the way,
wow.
Greg Bergman has taken the
If
lead.
there is a LeBron James as one of the answers, chances are John is.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
stupid of us to not
Just
all
go
say
to
LeBron.
LeBron.
I
yeah.
mean,
I thought it was a trick question.
How could you? All right. This is a tough one. We're going back to you, Brian, all right? There are 5 active players who have made at least 5 first-team All-NBA teams. Luka is one of them. Of the other 4, how many of them are under the age of 30? Luka is 25. A, 0, B, 1, or C, 2? 0, 1, or 2, Brian?
I'll go with 1.
Okay, Greg. 0, 1, or 2?
Would be only probably be like a Tatum. I'm going to go 1.
Mace?
I'm going to go 0.
Cappy?
I'm going to be honest. The question confused me.
Yeah,
So,
me too,
All
by
right,
the way.
So there are 5 guys who have made 5 All-NBA first teams. Luka is one of them. He's 25 years old. Of the other 4, how many are under the age of 30? 0, 1, or 2?
I'm going to say 2.
Steve Mason is on the board. The answer is 0. Here's the other 4.
Okay.
LeBron, 40.
Steph.
Harden, 36. KD, 35. Giannis, 30.
Okay.
Those are the 4.
Wow.
Okay.
Steph isn't on there?
No, he hasn't made 5 yet. Okay. Speaking of 5 All-NBA teams,
Okay.
Luka is one of only 3 players ever to make 5 All-NBA first teams before turning 26. Who are the other 2? Greg, this one coming to you.
Okay.
A, LeBron and Shaq. B, Kevin Durant and Tim Duncan. C, Giannis and Magic Johnson. So LeBron and Shaq, Duncan and Durant, or Giannis and Magic?
Giannis and Magic.
All right, Mace.
Giannis and Magic.
Cappy.
There was LeBron and Shaq, right?
LeBron and Shaq, Durant and Duncan, Giannis and Magic.
I'll take LeBron and Shaq.
Brian.
LeBron and Shaq.
The answer is Durant and Duncan.
Oh, in between.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nobody got there. All right, so right now, the score is Greg 2. Everybody else has 1. All right? There are 3 more of these and a tiebreak.
Okay.
So I go first.
You go first.
I'm going to get
Greg.
serious now. Getting
All right.
serious, Mace.
Greg,
Me too. I'm on it now.
Greg, who once said this quote about Luka? Quote, if I had to choose between my wife and keeping Luka on the Mavs, catch me at my lawyer's office prepping for divorce. End quote. Was it A, Mark Cuban, B, Dirk Nowitzki, or C, Kyrie Irving?
Mark Cuban.
Okay, Mace.
Mark Cuban.
Cappy.
Also going to go Cuban.
Brian.
Cuban.
You guys got. Was that too easy?
Well, it sounds like
yeah. I mean, it wasn't going to be Dirk saying that.
Yeah.
I don't think Kyrie's going to say it either.
No.
Okay, so the score right now
about the
is
Middle
Greg
East.
3, everyone else 2. 2 more to go. All right, Greg. In 2020, Luka became the youngest player in NBA postseason history with a 40-point triple-double. 43 points, 17 rebounds, 13 assists, including a game winner against the Clippers in overtime. Who was the other player to record at least 43 points, 17 rebounds, and 13 assists in any NBA game? A. LeBron, B. Russell Westbrook, C. Wilt. LeBron, Westbrook, or Wilt?
God, the answer is always Wilt. I kind of feel like it's Westbrook back in the day, but I'm going to go Wilt because it's always Wilt.
Okay, Mace.
Do I have to go different?
No.
You're only one back. 2 left.
I'm going to go different. I'm going to say, what was the second one?
LeBron, Westbrook, or Wilt?
I think Westbrook.
You're going Westbrook.
Yeah,
Cappy.
I hate to say it, but I also think it's Westbrook.
Okay, Brian.
I'm on Westbrook as well.
Greg Bergman has won the game.
Oh, come on, man.
It's always Wilt. It's always Wilt.
It's always Wilt. All right,
It's always LeBron. It's always Wilt.
We'll do the last 2 just for fun. We got one more in a tiebreaker.
First of the month, I got on the board.
All right, Luka led the NBA in scoring last season, 33.9 points per game. In the NBA's history, how many other foreign-born guys have led the NBA in scoring for an entire season? 0, 1, or 2? Greg.
Giannis, most likely. I say 1.
Okay. Mace.
I'll say
0, 1, or 2?
I'll say 2.
All right. Cappy.
I'm also going to say 2.
Brian.
1.
The answer is 1, but it was never Giannis.
It wasn't Giannis.
It was last year. Do you remember who it was?
SGA.
No.
Oh, wait. Last year.
Yeah. Guy's always hurt.
Embiid?
Yeah.
AD?
Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Joel
Don't
Embiid.
say AD. AD played
I'm
70
only
games
joking.
last year.
I'm
Only
only
45 games this year.
joking.
God.
Just joking.
Tiebreaker.
Easy,
Just
relax.
throw out a number here. LeBron is the NBA's all-time leading scorer with over 41,000 points. How many career total points does Luka have? Closest wins, and you can go over. Greg, how many?
I'll say 17,832.
17K. Mace.
15,384.
Cappy.
12,435.
Brian.
14,000 even.
I got to tell you, Scott Kaplan almost just won
Did
both
he?
showcases.
Really?
Cappy said 12,435. The correct answer is 12,089.
Wow,
nice job,
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very good, Cap.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So, Cappy, what's happening in New Orleans? Obviously,
Cappy,
you
we
know,
haven't even mentioned the Super Bowl today.
there's still a game on Sunday, right? They're still having it?
Nobody's talking about it here either.
People are talking about the Luka trade there also?
Oh, big time. In fact, it's interesting because 5 years ago was the last time I think I traveled for a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I went to Miami, and you guys will probably remember that 5 years ago, the Sunday before the Super Bowl week was when Kobe died.
Yeah, that's right.
So the Super Bowl week was, especially Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, was dominated by everybody talking about Kobe. And I think that today, and this is, by the way, this is a gigantic convention center here in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the square footage is compared to the LA Convention Center, but it's huge. And it's really spread out. And there's a lot of people that have already gotten here, which I'm kind of impressed by.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I think everybody here today was still talking about Luka versus AD, the trade, who won, why would they do it. I mean, everybody in every walk of sports has an opinion about this trade.
Yeah. So, just out of curiosity, and we'll talk about the trade as well, but are you going to, like, media? Is tonight media night where you go and ask everybody
dumb questions?
No, that's tomorrow night. I don't do that. I'll
night.
go.
You skip that?
I'll go. I think tomorrow's called the media party.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really know if it's the event you're talking about. I think the event you're talking about tomorrow, Mace, is probably in the morning or early in the day. I'll just go for the free food.
What about
pretty
parties?
much. You
going to hit up parties? What parties are you invited to?
I doubt I'll go to
come on,
very
you
many
will
parties.
too.
No, I think
Yes,
I
will.
feel like I've maybe. I don't know if I'm going to do it, man.
Did you start the day with the beignet?
I did not. I will start tomorrow with one, but Mace, today traveling here yesterday was such a pain in the ass.
Right.
And I got in so late, and then I had to get up super early. And I've literally been here on Radio Row since like 10 o'clock local time, which is 8 o'clock back in LA.
What have you been doing?
Well, I did the Cappy Cast.
Oh, right, of course, yeah.
I did the Cappy Cast. And by the way, it's never easy. Like, day one is never easy. There's always technical challenges.
Right.
So I got all that worked out. And I've been working from here. I've literally been sitting here
Will you
working.
go to the game itself?
No, I'm coming back.
You're coming back.
What I thought we talked about a party.
Oh, that's right. Are you actually doing a party?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe. We'll talk about that. Plus
Yeah.
Luka. Luka, I want to get your take on Luka. And I think Shadano's going to be here as well. Yes?
Yep.
Shadano and Cap, full strength. Coming up next, we'll do some Supercross talk. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hey, it's D4. If you're like me, you just don't want to watch the game. You want the best experience every time. That's why Absolute Sport is a game changer. VIP access.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Silmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
You know, I want to thank them. You know, without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. You know, little help like you guys asked for. You know, I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California, and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Silmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. You know, I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, you know, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
Hey guys, it's Mina Kimes, host of the Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny, here to tell you about a live podcast taping I am doing in Los Angeles Monday, February 3rd, right before the Super Bowl. I am joined by Greg Rosenthal, Jordan Rodriguez, Chris Ryan, Andy Greenwald, and the Rams' own Kobe Turner. 100% of your ticket proceeds go to wildfire relief here in Los Angeles. Check it out, minapodlive.com.
Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason and Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk, presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
There you go. Shadano's here in studio. He did a little TV today, and Cappy is on Radio Row in Narlands, and Luke.
was doing a game last night. I just got here from Milwaukee.
Oh, I thought you were doing like NBA Today or one of those shows. No, you didn't do Around the Horn
I
or
did Memphis, in Milwaukee yesterday.
So what was the reaction? And by the way, Cappy's
Everybody
with us
was
from New
stunned.
Orleans.
Everyone, we talked to
Of-
Doc
I'm
Rivers,
very
Taylor
yeah,
Jenkins.
I'm very curious.
Everybody we talked to that was in that arena that worked in the league was like, they couldn't believe it. They all thought Shams was hacked.
Me too.
I did too. I was.
Sam says he thought he was hacked.
I was going to text him.
Yeah.
I was landing in Milwaukee as it was all happening. Trudell texted me and said, he just texted me very simply, Luka for AD. And I thought he was like proposing a fake trade to me.
Fantasy basketball
Or
trade?
like some sort of fake trade.
Oh, yeah, right.
And my response to him was, well, I could see Luka maybe leaving down the road, but what will AD look like at that point? He goes, no, it's happening. And I'm like, what?
By the way, that's hilarious, George, that you thought Shams was hacked because obviously you were not alone in that thought. Like, but I'm curious, why is it that everybody just immediately goes to...
Because the trade was terrible. Like,
Well,
if you're
and it
Dallas...
was- and Cappy, you would have, if you would have asked anybody in the league on Friday, is there any scenario under which the Dallas Mavericks would trade Luka Doncic
No
this
chance.
weekend?
No.
George and I both would have bet our houses that wouldn't have happened.
No, listen, it is the most surprising trade in NBA history. Like, it's not. There isn't even a close second at this point.
It's not like it's a bad trade short term for Dallas.
Agreed.
Yeah, no,
But-
I think they got a chance to be the second best
but
team
my
in the West
thing is,
this year.
like, I get
But
you
you
want
have to get more in return.
one first-round pick.
You couldn't get, one first round. You couldn't.
You
get,
had to give up a second.
Don't you
help
think
Utah.
if Nico Harrison would have said include Austin Reeves, do you not think the Lakers would still have done it for Luka Doncic?
Yes,
they would
I think
have.
so.
They could have gotten
By the way,
more.
you could have done the second. If you're going to get only one pick, if you're Dallas, how did you not get the one that was later?
Yeah, right.
Like if your whole bet,
Well, they had to give them their choice of picks.
if you're betting on Luka being out of shape or injury prone or whatever, you'd have more of a chance at that at 31 as opposed to 29.
Let's talk about that. You just brought up something that's come up in every Luka conversation that I've heard today, and that's the out of shape conditioning thing.
That was a real thing with them.
Yeah,
there's
I know
no
it was.
question.
But here's my thought. It's a nuclear option to trade him for that reason. If that's the reason they traded him,
There's got to be more. There's
right.
always more.
I think that's what I was just leading towards. There's going to be more of this trade to come out. But if I use the phrase Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth was a fat guy who was never in shape, but he was remarkably talented. This is what broke up Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah.
Kobe and Shaq Kobe was the hardest working guy on the team, physical freak, first one to practice, last one to leave. Shaq was admittedly out of shape, last one to practice, first one to leave.
I got to rehab.
I'll
rehab on
company time. Blah, blah, blah. And that broke him up.
Right.
Hey, Chuck, I'm going to rehab on company time, Chuck.
Yeah. But you...
It's not bad, Captain.
Yeah,
it's gotten better.
Yeah,
it was
Shaq, terrible.
Shaq this would be the equivalent of the Lakers trading Shaq when he was 25.
Right.
They traded him when he was 32.
Yeah.
Luka can perform when he's out of shape.
Yeah.
So and if he gets in shape, George, oh my God.
Yeah. And by the way, for LA, this is the biggest trade since Gretzky, I think. And Gretzky was older
Biggest
at
trade
that
since
point.
Gretzky. I agree with that.
But I mean, Gretzky had won 4 Stanley Cups. And came to LA. Like that's
and
was
even
older.
then, George, he wasn't 25.
Right.
I think it's
Yeah.
the closest thing might be Mookie Betts, who was a 27-year-old MVP with 6 gold gloves.
Yeah, I just think you have less of an impact as a baseball player than you would as a hockey player or a basketball player.
Sure.
So that would be the only
Well,
reason.
there's an element of Gretzky where like hockey arrived
Oh, right,
on the
when
West
he
Coast.
got here.
That was a really
Correct.
huge part of it.
Correct.
So it was a
And they
a
did
big
get to a
cultural shift.
final.
And they did. Yeah.
The clip we keep playing, play it one more time, Mace, so down can cap here. This is Ryan Russillo on Bill Simmons' emergency podcast, and he makes the point of what this trade, like, he doesn't understand what Dallas did, but even the point that not enough people are talking about is he uses the phrase, it resets the Lakers.
Yeah.
So here's Ryan.
You have traded at worst the 3rd best player in the NBA, and when he's right, probably the 2nd best guy. And you've traded him at this age, and you've completely reset the Lakers in a way that is basically impossible So it doesn't make any sense at all.
He's 100% right, which is why, like, when I was on with the Cams yesterday and they asked me, what do you think Rob Pelinka was like when he called? And I said, if it were me, I would have said, hey, Nico, hold on 1 second. I would have put the phone on mute, and I would have started screaming,
like
running
that scene
around.
from Moneyball.
Or
The
you
scene
and I
from
would
Moneyball.
what I would have done immediately, I would have put it on second. I would have taken a deep breath. I would have come back and go, Nico, I know this sounds weird, but I'm leaving for a wedding in an hour, and I can't leave until we get this done. Can we fast track this?
So apparently McMiniman in this story wrote that Rob literally said to him, are you joking?
Right. Well, now, Kirk Goldsberry, is that right?
I don't know.
Who used to work for ESPN.
Who used to work for ESPN.
Yes.
He reported that at one point the trade was larger and that they were able to peel it back. At one point, Dalton Knecht and the other first-round pick was in it, and Rob was able to talk him down and sort of cut those pieces out of the deal.
No disrespect to Kirk Goldsberry, but if Shams is not reporting it or Windy, I'm not buying that.
Right. And if that was true, I think there was a big man coming back, either Gafford
somebody.
or
Right. There had to be something coming back. That it wasn't just for Luka at that point.
Now, in this scenario where we are right now, the Lakers, they're reset for the next decade. As was just pointed out.
And Mace, think about this.
Because I don't think
before you move on
he
from
can
that
opt
point,
out in 26. But
right, but before you at that point, in 2 years, if LeBron leaves, Luka's the only one in the books.
Of course, yeah.
And you can go get anybody you want.
Yeah.
But does Bronny stay after LeBron goes?
But I think that in the short term, they got other stuff to do if they want to make a run. They've got two of the best players in the world.
Here's what I would say. They do need to improve the team fairly quickly this season and next season because he can be a free agent in 2026.
Right.
Like he can opt out, which he will. He's only making $42 million
That's it?
at that point. So he's going to opt out. And now because he lost the $115 million of the Supermax that he could have gotten.
So they really did him dirty.
Right.
Yeah.
He lost $100 million.
Yeah. 115.
Oof.
Okay.
Oof.
And so, he could potentially test the market because it's all even at that point. Like, it's not like the Lakers have an inherent financial advantage at that point.
Right. Cappy, you haven't said anything.
Well, because I
don't know where Cappy went.
The three of you guys you're there, and I didn't want to interrupt.
Well,
but
you're
I will
in
say
New Orleans. What are you doing in New Orleans when Luka got traded to the Lakers?
Yeah. Well, it just so happens, George, that I'm on assignment today.
Yeah.
From the network.
For who?
For ESPN.
Yeah, okay.
No, you're
and you're going to talk to like old NFL
me,
guys promoting products.
They sent me to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They said this is where Anthony Davis's career began in the NBA.
Oh, you're on assignment.
And we're going to send you to New
Gil Brandt
Orleans.
still alive?
I don't think so.
I think he just passed.
Yeah,
recently.
he was always on Radio
Row.
Row.
Been on Radio Row, I'll tell you that.
Right. Well, I just want to say one thing about Luka's conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, I don't really see it. I don't.
What do you mean?
You don't see his conditioning?
Here's what I mean. Is he ripped like LeBron?
No.
No, he's not. Is he, like, ridiculously overweight the way Zion has been in years past? I don't see that either. I see a guy whose body is kind of like, I'll make a golf comparison. Johnny and I work with me here.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods was ripped. Phil Mickelson.
When he was younger.
Phil Mickelson was chunky.
Yeah.
Both guys were great players.
doughy.
They had different bodies.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I look at a guy like Jokic, people look at him and they go, I don't get how he's so good and how he's so athletic.
This is an excellent comp. Excellent. Jokic has never really been in shape, and he dominates people.
But the difference is this. Jokic has not had 4 of the same lower leg injuries.
Completely fair.
Okay, listen to this.
Completely fair point.
In a Windhorse pocket, play the Tim McMahon thing, Mace. Here's Tim McMahon.
4 injuries to the calf.
And he makes that point right off the top. This is Tim McMahon explaining the Dallas perspective, the impetus for Dallas to trade Luka. Here he is.
This calf strain has happened 4 times, same calf in the last 3 years, twice this season. And the reaction within the Mavericks wasn't like, geez, man, bad luck. It was, just extreme frustration that this is the result of not caring or not, taking the actions that show you care about things like diet and conditioning and lifestyle.
Okay, so the comp I'd make, Cappy, you brought it up. Zion. Zion has never gotten in shape and has won nothing. Luka has 5 first-team All-NBA selections, and he's 25.
Right.
So obviously, to your point, Cap, whatever shape he's in, whether he's
he's great.
He can still perform. Now,
Right.
George's point, the injury, and it's 4 times on the same calf, that's significant. But it's not a reason for me to trade him.
Also,
and if I'm the Lakers, it's not a reason for me to say no.
Yeah, and
correct.
There's there are some red flags here. I mean, he did miss.
Oh, listen,
like
if you're
12
the Lakers and you find that lottery ticket, like you are absolutely cashing
I've
that
got
in.
no question about it.
Yeah.
And hopefully the conditioning. But you're right, Cap. He's never going to be LeBron in terms of his body.
No, his physique is what it is currently. Now, can he transform it? Sure. I'll ask you guys all a question, especially to the insiders.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at his career in Dallas, has there ever been a player like a LeBron, and we'll use LeBron right now as an example, but has there ever been a player where somebody ushered him into, this is how you become a pro in the NBA?
Well, that Charles Barkley told this story today. He says
that hopefully that LeBron can do that.
that Moses Malone did that for Charles Barkley.
I'm not saying, Dirk Nowitzki's not built like LeBron, but Dirk Nowitzki was always in phenomenal shape. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a different dude. He's 7 foot or whatever, more lumbering. But Dirk is an incredible example for anybody. And he had Dirk the first 2 years. So I'm a believer that if this doesn't shake him from that, Cappy, then nothing will. Because this guy loves a good grudge, okay? This is the guy that still...
That's what I was hoping.
That sticks it to Phoenix all the time because they passed him up, and, he gets into a Booker. When he was in Sacramento just like a month and a half ago, he was getting into it with the fans and the owner, talking about how they didn't draft him.
Right. Well, I think Vlade Divac was fired for passing on Luka. Fired.
From Marvin Bagley.
Yeah.
By the way, and I think if Luka
Local
turns
guy.
on ESPN or anywhere else today and hears his weight being debated,
nearly 270 pounds.
But don't you think he's going to react to that? Like, I'm going to have a reaction to that. I'm going to.
I'll tell you what my reaction is.
I'm going to transform.
Well, Cappy,
my body.
you are the visceral fat expert here.
Oh yeah,
Let me. Hey, Mace.
Yeah.
You want to know how Luka's going to look a lot thinner right away?
Wear black.
No.
Oh,
Go with you to the gym.
Wearing black. Oh yeah, come to the gym.
Shred.
No. Luka can look about 15 pounds lighter in one move.
Okay.
And he's got to drop the number 77. 77 makes you look like you're a nose tackle. If Luka were number 1 or number 2, he looked like 15 pounds lighter.
I disagree. If you're wearing a single digit and you're wide and big, you
that
actually
is
look bigger.
It's accentuated.
It's actually
I
the
disagree.
opposite, Cappy. It's
Give
the
me
opposite.
9, give me 8, give me 7, give me 6,
Wait,
give me a single digit.
Hey, Cap, what if he put a 4 in between the two sevens?
747.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What do you think?
That.
Or I was thinking maybe like 11. Even 11 would work.
So-
Yeah, 11 would be good.
This, George, this immediately becomes, and think about this, who LeBron's played with. He played with Dwayne Wade. He played with Chris Bosh. He played with Kyrie Irving. He played with Kevin Love. Isn't Luka the best teammate he's ever had?
Yes.
Better than even AD?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that I can't wait to watch these
It's funny.
games.
It's funny. I Googled Luka, just Luka in Google. And the first thing is Luka out of shape. That's what comes up first.
That's ridiculous.
Isn't that amazing?
It's so ridiculous.
I mean,
look at the number of games he played last year. Look at the amount of minutes he played last year.
I will just tell you, this is not a recent concern of theirs.
I understand, but I'm just going to say this, that the rumblings about his weight, if I were trading him and I were trading a 25-year-old superstar.
I would not have traded the 25-year-old superstar.
I know, but I'm just going to say, if I were the guy who was making the trade and I had fans outside the arena protesting.
With a coffin with a Mavericks sign on it.
Right. Screaming, sell the team, sell the team. You know what I would say to the media who was covering it? I'd be like, one of the biggest problems we had is he's always out of shape. Like, I would knock him on the way out the door because I'm now giving the fan base an excuse as to why I decided to make this case. Listen, his father, you've probably seen the story, that his father has been completely insulted by the entire story and how the secrecy of it all went. And it's like when you look into the numbers, and the dad brings it up, the number of games he played last year, the number of minutes he played, and you guys tell me, when you're broadcasting these games, was there ever a time where you're like, wow, Luka's really laboring to get up and down the floor. He's so
there
fat and out
there
of
were
shape.
some times he was playing through injuries. I would say that he was lumbering. Yes.
Okay, but was there ever a time where he was 100% healthy?
Brian Windhorst literally called him out during the finals because of it.
And Brian said an interesting thing about that. He said that
So the answer is yes.
The Mavs fans really got on him and booed him. He heard nothing from the team.
Correct. The executives, I was there with him.
The team said, no, that's unfair. You shouldn't have said that, blah, blah,
and
blah.
usually teams will defend their guy, and they did not.
So there you go.
All right, so what do you guys got?
I mean, we're wall-to-wall Luka.
Wall-to-wall Luka.
And maybe some stupidity.
Oh,
hey, I have a quick
that.
Hey, do we have a date? Like, do we know when he's planning on
the report is that it might be next week.
Yeah, next week sounds right.
Against Utah, either Monday or Wednesday.
So originally we were told, because when he was in Dallas, I was going to have Golden State Dallas on the 12th, and we were told there was a good chance he was going to play in that game.
Okay.
So
yeah. All right. Hey, Cappy, have fun in New Orleans. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Shadano and Cap coming now.